On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, is something happening yet? No, it is not. But don't go away yet, please, for love of God. No, stay. Wait, I need you. I would love to have done a song reference there, but I can't think of what the best one was. There's so many. Anyway, hey everybody, this is Let's Talk FGO. You can call me Omega, you can call him Lucky, and we are all gambled out this week.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's a little bit like that. But
no, Perseus, I'm not going to refresh. I do not have the energy to click refresh.
If you whiffed, you whiffed. This is why, patrons, you should not play this chicken game with us. I know some of you wait until literally you see us get in for the pre-show before you submit. You should probably do it a little bit earlier. But hi. Speaking of patrons, I want to really quickly remind everybody this episode is brought to you by patrons like Adam Harbonco, Comics on Kazi, America, Dick Dan, Blessing G, Carlos Quad, Dragon Ferris, Jeremy Vasquez, Jonathan Sandoval, Kylie Denton, Legendary Boss, Leo Castro, Raptor, Rogue Robin, Charvor, Shiny Piece, some guy named Bob, set us on Tour in 723, and if you like what we do, want to see more, consider supporting Patreon. You can access episodes early on the video helps out, because I always need to remember to do that, and I don't like to forget. Okay, alright. That's my part of the intro done.
Yay. Well, I guess this is my half now. So, everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka The Space Between. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should just enjoy their break week.
Yeah, it's a week off, basically, for everybody. Yeah. Everybody gets a week off.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's gonna be due.
Get to do stuff. I'm farming EXPs right now.
I should farm EXPs. I should probably do that. Where's my phone?
Well, it's one of the master missions this week. Spoilers. So
spoilers.
Might as well. I will not refresh AP, actually, because it just switched over, so I will go feed embers to somebody. Who's that somebody? Well, you'll have to find out later. Because first, we have to check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, Mash.
Senpai! 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai regular segment for protips. I actually have protips this week.
Gasp. Audible gasp.
Yeah, dramatic gasp. I have two, actually. Double gasp.
He's going beyond.
Yeah. I mean, I thought of two things I think our audience would appreciate. One, first of all, it is an interlude campaign right now. Spoiler for the news. But remember that just now there was a thing where interludes will retroactively be worth 2 Saint Quartz a pop, like how rank ups are. So you should get them done while you can, because they'll be worth more later.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is, I know a lot of people are jonesing for the lotto. I at least have a decent amount of jonesing levels, because I double-checked, and the lotto is basically 90% skill cookies, which is great.
Super great.
But don't freak out about being prepped. You'll know when it's about to start. It has a pre-release campaign that involves, like, logging in for apples and stuff. So you'll know ahead of time when they do it. So don't get too freaked out about, oh, is the lotto going to sneak up on me? No. At least not for a few days. It won't sneak up on you. We got a couple of things to get out of the way, and I will speculate on when we'll be getting those things out of the way later. But yeah, that's where we are. So let's move swiftly on to Records from the Throne, our regular Chivo topic.
Chivo.
So, I got a couple of the old fun ones today. So, first of all, good news, everyone. So it just so happened that my 30-day login streak day coincided with a Carmilla solo raid up, Summer Carmilla. And I immediately spent those 30 Saint Quartz that were free, and I did, in fact, roll Summer Carmilla. Gold Sparks. We okay. I also got so many fucking 4-stars. Easy that 110 roll. Oh my god, please save me. But yes, that part of my long suffering is at least over, so now I only need to worry about one rerun banner. Yay. Same energy here. Studio Mega. Hi, how you doing, everybody? Also, I did lock in my NP5 Hokusai, got all the bits, and I did get all the costumes. Made sure to, even though I don't own a Saber Shiki, I made sure to buy all those out of the store so I don't have to worry about it next year. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to roll on this the Saber GSSR this year anyway, so, you know, you never know what'll happen.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, got the Musashi costume. What do you think I am, some kind of uncultured schlub? I am a man of culture. Anyway, that's me.
That's Mega. For Lucky's side, not anything really particular. I did not roll for anything. I'm in saving modo again. But did get my MP5 Hokusai, and I did get all home 100 missions done. So yes, I got everything I could. I had a bit of a scare doing the, what was it, the 50 million QP. I actually had to burn seals and accords on that, and I was all like, "It's worth it." it was worth it. That gets you an additional 50 million QP on top of that. We'll talk about more summer thoughts later.
Yeah, we got a space sketch out for that.
Yeah, but with that, I turned around and spent a bit of that money on getting my passion lip up to 10, 10, 10. So now she tank very good.
Yeah, you'll notice I didn't put that in there. I didn't actually 100% of the missions. I just didn't have the energy other than that last like quartz one for the mana prisms to actually like send it in or do anything. I was just very tired and spent that energy catching up with lots of other stuff. If you want to know more about what I've been doing with my time, be sure to tune into What's Up Tomorrow, where I will talk about that sort of stuff.
Yay. No, microphone, no. Sorry, my microphone was misbehaving.
It happens sometimes. Remember that stream like 2 weeks ago where my friggin' microphone fell off? But alright, it's that. We don't have any evil this week. Yay. We've defeated the evil that was here.
Mm-hmm.
And it is time for me to ask you, did you finish your master missions? You might not, actually, if you've just been slamming that event farming. So, what you need to do to complete master missions this week is defeat 15 Saber or Berserker enemies, not servants or bosses. Defeat 15 Archer Assassin enemies, not servants or bosses. And then defeat 15 Lancer Rider or Caster enemies, not servants or bosses. No idea what's up with these combos, by the way. Yeah, no, they've got Saber Berserker. That doesn't line up with, like, those dailies at all. So I do not know what we're smoking. Does that... No, that does. All the nodes are monoclass. That doesn't line up with nodes either. No idea. It's weird. Anyway, just do stuff and you'll be fine. You also need to defeat 8 servants and then acquire 15 EXPs via drop and acquire 30 EXPs via drop. So clearly FGO is telling you to go to those ember mines and dig, which I've just been doing just now. Carmela passed her first ascension. It is Archer Caster right now. Do I want to do that? I might not. But I did just now finish all my master missions. Yay, more quartz.
Yay.
But all right, there's your master missions. So we will move swiftly on and jump into Skelegrams. So we don't have any real big news, but there's a lot of little news. A lot of little projects have been rolling out for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, in North America, our home server here, we've hit Interlude Campaign 10. This is going from the 19th, just started, to the 1st of September. Got a whole 2-week block during this time period, half AP interludes. The interludes that are released newly with this is we have the NP interludes for Enkidu and Ishtar, both of which are pretty important. I will be doing those later myself. We've got a skill interlude for Tesla. This buffs his galvanism up. And regular old, boring old St. Quartz interludes for Jack Amakusa and Parvati. And the summon banner, which I double-checked this, and I do believe it is marked as running all the 2 weeks if you care about that sort of thing, is a rotating race up Tesla, Jack, Parvati.
Mm-hmm.
So, thumbs up there, everybody.
Yeah, I've already done my Ishtar and Parvati quests. I enjoyed them immensely.
Yeah, I need to get to them, but I will probably not do them during the show. Instead, I think I'll just eat an apple and Oh yeah, that's right. That happened this week. I did not put in my notes. It's because we got it early. I'm gonna do Salter's rank up actually.
But yeah,
right.
So
we got we got early in the FGO scheme of things. Arguably, we got late in the scheme of tie-in things. We got Saber Alter's rank up and costume.
Yeah, they've actually spun this as the Heavensville 3 Blu-ray release commemoration.
Yes. So that's neat. Now, this did come with a slight hiccup. They released it while there was still a day or two left in the summer event, and it apparently broke everything. The event filter got absolutely destroyed, and I do believe servants lost their event bonuses.
Yeah.
So to compensate for this, we got a gold apple at the next maintenance, because it was basically like, whoops, sorry if you wasted some AP not getting your extra drops or whatever here. We'll give you some apple action. Pretty typical stuff. But yeah, that was good. That's not in my notes, but that's also very short. Like I said, no big news, but it's fun. You know, the rank up is cool. It's always good when we can get stuff a little early. And now we're going to talk about a lot of little things that JP has been doing over the past couple of weeks. I don't want to say JP is stalling for content necessarily. It feels more like they realize, hey guys, we know that we've had you like run ragged for like 2 fucking months. Here, let's relax a little. Calm down.
Sounds about right to me.
Yeah. So, first of all, we've got a fun little new master support campaign. Not a start dash, but just helping out newer masters. This is running from the 16th until the 31st of October. So, the limited master missions and shit last a long time. Most of the rest of the stuff is more limited. But permanently, everybody gets 3 more friend slots. Just everybody gets 3 friend slots. The default goes from like 23 to 26 or something, or is it 25 to 28? I think it's 25 to 28. You get 3 friend slots for free to start with. Everybody gets this. You have limited master missions for Mats and Saint Courts if you clear Part 1 chapters and make friends. I'm going to assume that, like, the last time this happened, these are retroactive, so it's not a big deal. It's just statues and, like, 3 Saint Courts and a ticket. But if you're a longtime player, you get them. It's just they're not as important to you. It's, it's a little thing to recognize newer masters jumping in, maybe because they want to see what all this buzz is about, because, there was that whole thing where FGO shot to the top of the charts when Lost Belt 6 Part 1 released. So, there is also double FP on everybody until the 31st of August, and during this period, half AP and all dailies open until 8/23, along with double suck chance during that time period. So just, if you're new, half AP, open up the dailies, give you plenty of time to get in there, get some double suck. If you're not new and you've just spent all your fucking wallet to get new units, well, you also have time to level them up as well. And hey, guess what? You might have new units because we got Avalon the Fae Conclusion Part 2 banner. Shocking everyone.
Yeah.
This was actually quite surprising. So this banner is going on from the 18th until the 1st of September. Morgan, Fairy Tristan, and Fairy Gawain come back for another round. Perhaps in case you didn't realize you wanted them the first time. This is not a big deal for the Fairy Knights because they were also just on Oberon's banner. But, in basically 2 months, Morgan's had 2 banners.
Yeah, no.
Well,
by the way...
Oh, are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say?
Well, you can say it.
I was gonna say that technically this is not a record.
Yeah.
Hawk's banner was, Thanksgiving for us, and then was New Year's, again, 2 months, a month and a half later. So, it's not unheard of, it just hasn't been done in a very long time. And also, people are very slightly salty that Arjuna Alter hasn't had a raid up yet, period, after his initial one. So, slight oof.
Slight oof.
But yeah, very interesting Morgan gets to come back so soon. Like I said, I expect it's because they did not, actually, there was, 2 whole story drops between when her banner first came out and when it didn't. Which kind of makes sense. Usually, Lost Belt Kings and, major story characters are the second banner, not the first. But everybody in Lost Belt 6 is a really important story character, so, yeah. Now, the question is, will Fairy Knight Lancelot get a raid up so soon afterward? I'm gonna guess no.
No, I think we're done with LB6 now. I think we're moving on.
Yeah, this just seems like it's a final bring around for hey, did you not realize you needed somebody? Here we are.
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say the other thing that they gave with this banner.
Yeah,
the costume.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's also not in my notes. Sorry, I made this earlier. I was juggling a lot of things. Yeah, they did give a costume for her, which is, I think it's called Winter Queen. But she gets to put her veil back on, basically.
Yeah. It's a small thing, but hey, it's nice.
Yeah, it's good to see those minor costume details. We've talked about that before, on using those little details and things. Also, I think that is a decent call. Somebody in chat, patron chat, is calling the next 1,000,000 downloads will be an Arjuna Alter banner. That seems fair and appropriate. It has been a long-ass time, and he is a pretty important unit that people care about.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense. But in terms, though, of like I said, that actual wind-down content, JP has also just started. Well, don't say New York. You don't know nothing about nothing. Oh, you mean New Year. Sorry. NY right now means Battle in New York. He could also be. That might work. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But like I said, speaking of turning down content, so we have Hunting Quests 11, which is running from the 20th to the 27th. Hunting Quests are back. We are starting with Bones. Always a good start.
Never enough.
So I also put this in there that Hunting Quests usually have cameos for upcoming content, so stay tuned for anything further. Lucky, I believe you added this little note because I did not notice it. But there are Prisma Sticks.
Prisma Sticks. Now, this also might be in reference to, I believe that there is a new Prisma movie coming out. They might just be doing a commemoration release here soon. I do believe they might have shown off what might be the commemorative CE.
Yes.
I'm not entirely sure.
Actually, and honestly, the commemorative CE is usually like the key art or whatever.
Yeah.
And this goes into our next bit of news. This bit is not directly FGO related, but like I said, there will be a tie-in of some sort. There is going to release the next Prisma movie soon. And also, we do know that Sentai Filmworks has retained the rights to distribute that internationally, and among many other regions, it has been officially announced they will be distributing it in North America. So we are... But holy shit, we've got a confirmed North American distribution of a Fate-related movie for once. My Jesus. God. Aniplex, please, for the love of God, be slightly more informative about this.
Yeah, no, we're already having a little bit of trouble with the Heaven's Feel issue, as I don't know if we actually mentioned this, but a lot of the orders have been delayed until what would they say, September, or was it late August? I can't remember.
I suspect that may have to do with that issue where China had to shut one of their major ports because of a possible COVID case.
August 31st, okay.
But yeah, that their shipping is always really complex. I know for another example, like for instance, if you watch some of the other stuff on the channel, I follow some Yu-Gi-Oh production as well. Their Konami of America's dates for new product have been all over the place. We literally had a product be delayed until January of next year, and then it got pushed forward to now it's in October again, which is still 2 months after it was supposed to come out originally. I do not know necessarily what is up with international shipping, but it's pretty fucked. So this may be why physical distribution of things is being much, much weirder than normal. So weird. The weirdest. But yes, we do know, like I said, though, that Prisma Ilia movie is coming, and it does have a distribution locked in internationally. And they do actually, talk about it, which would, be nice. I know you guys give us the teasers, but I would prefer to know for sure that it exists and is coming, please. Possibly with a timetable?
Yeah, no, we still have nothing over on North America about the Camelot movies, but there have been confirmed movie showings in both Australia and Singapore. It's just It's it seems, I feel like we're getting a little left behind here. A wee bit.
I know in America, I'm sure it's because we are in the middle of an ongoing, debate about movie theaters and streaming and stuff. I don't know, maybe somebody's, wrestling for the rights. Alternatively, Sony was waiting for their Funimation Crunchyroll deal to clear before they sort that shit out, but that still sucks for us because God knows what that's gonna, work out. Yeah, I also wouldn't mind news about the extra remake, but I also haven't heard any. I don't think I've seen any new trailers for that either. So I don't know if that project is being as timely as it was originally announced.
No, everyone's I think everyone's more on board with the Tsukihime release and Melty Blood release.
Those are both pretty locked in as coming soon, and Melty Blood has a confirmed international release, so it'll be hitting Steam, I believe.
So as soon as those get out the gate and people have, whetted their appetites on that, people will start going extra win, and we'll probably start seeing a lot more news on it.
Yeah. The unfortunate problem with 2021 is we thought when 2020 was over, it would all be over, but then it wasn't. And so 2021 is truly just 2020 Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. We didn't learn fucking anything from 2020, and we have all the same problems, and nothing is new under the sun.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Luckily, like I alluded to earlier, I did get my second shot, so I'm good on that part, doing my part. Everybody else, go get vaccinated. That's so then you can have movie premieres again, and hopefully we can have ports open up to shipping, and other things can be fucking normal for once. So we can figure out the rest of this bullshit.
Yes, I am in that actual same boat too. I'm probably buying Melty Blood just because I'm no, I buy fight products. I'll probably play it, but
yeah,
don't expect me to fight anybody.
We're not super deep into fighting games, but I mean, there's story there, and I haven't ever actually tried Melty Blood before, so I could pick up a new title. It would certainly help us with learning more about the space.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all of our news. That only took us 20 minutes.
Oh no!
So
no, it's on me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, let me just crank my energy up to max here. And cast off my sleepiness. Be on! And let us do this week's Left Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. I'll be nice. I'll refresh. Now that I have the energy to. Now we're up to 35. I hope you're happy. Hope all you're happy. People get in those last minute ones. Ugh.
We'll manually spin up our dynamo cranks, and I will also refresh.
So, we have 35 now, and unfortunately, we don't necessarily have a huge back half. We'll have summer thoughts, but is that about it?
Yeah, that's literally it.
That's literally it. So let me turn on my light.
There's no new units. There's no, like, weird side topics. There's no pregame. I don't even I think there might be some, like, story bosses and stuff. There will probably be a very skeletal pregame for Battle in New York 2021. Because it does have some slightly different stuff, but it's also still mostly the same.
So, with that, though, we have 35 to get through, and we begin right meow. This first one comes from a masked man offering strange bark, and he says, question, I've been playing around with Summer Musashi lately, and I found myself in a bit of a pickle, deciding whether to keep the USA bikini or leave her in her final ascension with the big swords. It got me wondering, are there any servants you prefer design in one ascension, but favor the animation MP of a separate one? Me, off the top of my head, no. I'm fine. I think the only ones that bug me the most right now is probably Fairy Knight, Lancelot, and Tristan, not because of their ascensions, just because their voice lines change, and it makes me very sad when I see them. Pain.
Yeah, that's the thing we're gonna have to deal with more as servants get on. I'm trying to think. I mean, no, I don't know. Like, there are some servants who have, like, different ascensions, do different stuff, but usually I distinctly prefer one of them. Like, I'm perfectly fine with Dial and Comma to Final Ascension, etc. So, yeah, no, I understand your pain. I'm still costume Musashi all the way.
I need to unlock my costumes still. But with that, we're going to move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from That Heavens Feel Fist Night was ridiculous. If you mean ridiculous as in awesome, you are correct. But they say, question, assuming you want to troll the FG community as hard as you can, what one new summer alt you would add? Only rules, it can't be a repeat of the existing one. Fucking summer lip. And a fucking diving suit. Just big tanker.
That
Boom.
would be the trolliest. Just lip is a mini sub. God, here's the problem. I don't actually know how to troll the FGO community. The FGO community trolls me. Like, every character I say who would be like a joke or non-committal would be like something somebody appreciates. I think the most would to say that one leak is true and that it's Summer Europa, because that's why nobody believes that leak, because nobody thinks that JP gives enough of a fuck about Europa to give her a summer alt right now. No offense to Europa, I'm just saying. I know how this works. Nobody remembers her. It's so sad. That would probably be my shot, yeah.
There you have it. We move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from the Tire King prepping his wallet for C6 in May. I mean, her share of thunder. I mean, ball. I mean, boob sword. Question. After hearing some of the FGO OPs, what is their favorite out of them, either based off visual or the lyrics themselves or the rhythm of the song? Anyway, take care. Have a nice evening. Mine is still Brave Shine by Eimer from Unlimited Blade Works, the second season. I still think it has
really good.
Yeah.
Technically, I assume we're asking about specifically OPs for FGO though, but
nah,
we only had a couple.
We've had 3, all done by Maya Sakamoto.
Yeah, I don't remember them very well. They mostly play once. They're nice, but
if we're picking out of those, it's definitely the third OP, the one that we technically haven't seen yet.
Yes, I feel like they've improved over time. Now, if you want to talk about CMs, that's a different discussion, but there's also about 5 million of them, so let's not go there.
Ooh.
We would be here a while.
Yeah.
Lucky, what's your favorite kind of cake?
Oh, the one I can eat.
Yeah. It's basically like that's how comparing FGO CMs is. Which delicious piece of cake do you like best?
So, we shall move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Melt's #1 simp. Question. Hello, Lucky Omega. Is there a server mechanic either you want to see explored that hasn't been already? I'm pretty sure we've gotten this question before, and I don't really think we really had like a really good answer for that one. I think it was basically us doing people like being able to do weird things with other command cards or MPs, like changing types or something.
Yes.
I believe that is it. So unfortunately, we'll not waste time on this, and we'll move on. Thank you very much, though. So moving on, this next one comes from the Eternal Storm, who says, no question this week, just wish you and everyone else health. I'm 99.9% sure we will win. That is a very good percentage. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. So, with that, we move on. This next one comes from The Great Pretender. They say, greetings from the QP mine. My question is about Bunny Artoria. Is she the 6th singularity goddess from Rongo Midiad? I have to remember how to say that for a second. Her eyes are glowing green, and our Lancer Artoria eyes is blue. Also, she created the singularity without using a grail. If so, why? How? Was it Merlin's fault?
In reverse order, yes, onto that last one, and then yes to that first one, and I'm going to skip those 2 middle questions because they're long. But no, yes, if you actually have her and you get in there. She is not actually the goddess from Gomniad. She says, "Oh, just because I call myself the Summer Lion King, I am not directly related to that Lion King you know." Some people feel slightly jebaited by this. I don't necessarily. She does have a lion, and she is a king. I think it's mostly so they can be funny. You know, she's dressed like a bunny, but she says she's the Lion King. But no, I think at best she's just a possible. Well, actually, I don't even know if she's really that much more Lion King-y. The goddess from Gomniad was kind of an ice cold bitch most of the time, so that is definitely not how I would describe the Summer Lion King, as it were. But it could just be like how Tamamo Summer is, right? It could just be that being in summer makes Lancer Artoria more all that. I do not know if it's actually in fact, I'm pretty sure it's not actually explained how she created Las Vegas out of Grail, because that would go against the moral of Summer 4, which is it's magic. It's summer. I ain't got to explain shit.
This is a literal theme, yes.
Yes, that's the conclusion at the end. The conclusion is I'd have to explain shit. You're not the boss of me. But I think we can assume safely with that last question. Yes, it is all Merlin's fault.
It is always Merlin's fault. I mean, Musashi made fucking rice in a fucking Holy Grail, but still blame Merlin.
I mean, I feel like Merlin deliberately engaged the whole system by which we would punch the heavenly demon Musashi of the Grail rice, when somebody probably could have just asked us.
Yeah.
We
Also,
could
real
have just
talk.
taken Hokusai on a training montage.
Also, real talk. I always kind of believed that it was going to be Musashi's fault from the beginning, because I was like, sword beauties. Those are two things that Musashi really, really likes: swords and beautiful people. It's like,
I mean, it's true. It is absolutely. Even though like Merlin kind of cottoned the Lion King onto running it, you know, Buntoria. That's absolutely. This is all Musashi's aesthetic, top to bottom.
So, with that though, we will move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Shinjuku Salters, Matt. Make me cry.
Yeah, some people are not happy about those eggs.
I should actually check myself. I haven't actually looked at the requirements. I just bought the damn thing. Anyway, they say, first of all, congrats, Lucky, on surviving yet another year since this cruel world spat you out. And I wish, not upon the holy or any grail, you both a good day. Seeing as all the Salter stuff came early, I wanted to ask, who's costume / buff / AU? Alternate universe? What? I'm missing something here.
Yeah, normally you would just say alt, my dude.
Oh, animation
update.
Ah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes much more sense. Nobody uses that abbreviation for that, though. Please don't.
Just call it like an Annie up. Do you want to see early the most? Oh, costume buff. Well, if we're talking about that, I am primed for Skahawk's bunny. I am ready. Give.
That's a pretty good one.
Give.
Mine is also similar. You're not coming early. It's both. I'm ready for that APOC rerun, which is Mordred's buff and her costume.
Yeah.
But alas, that will not come early, unlike timely, time-based events.
Mm-hmm. So, with that, we shall move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Gahulian God, who says, if you did complete the Big Chance All-In quest, what lineup did you use? I used Enkidu, Damage CE, Mash, Dantes, Summer BB, and 2 Summer Musashi to support Summer Musashi has a big Damage CE. I equipped my, how I did it, I equipped my Musashi with big damage CE. I kept using command still so she can just continuously firing her NP. And then when that didn't fail, because let me tell you, I fucking hate the fucking, when they break their bar and they get that, yeah, we just reduced damage for like 10 hits. I'm all like, this is bullshit. I hate it. Why did you do this? This is ridiculous. If I'm not hitting things with Musashi, I'm doing like 0 damage to things. Oh, Maggie, did you say something?
No, I was just muttering my quiet assent, talking about the break bar stuff.
Yeah, no. So, while I was able to do like good amount of damage, of course my team got taken out. So, guess what? I used the Sand Quartz as like, oh, behold, it's Summer Musashi again. This time with a full MP bar again. Die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
that's
I said,
how it goes.
So yeah, no, like I said, I spent all 3 command seals. I didn't spend the command seals on a revive. I spent them on just charging MPs to 100. The spammiest. So, but then, like I said, it still wasn't enough. So honestly, outside of that, I really didn't think about it. what I should have done, like, I actually thought about it in hindsight. I probably should have, like, actually put a bit more thought into it. Like, I could have brought my Tamamo and maybe a few other supports and just really buffed up Musashi for it. But I was like, I don't want to think that hard. I didn't try the challenge quest at all, by the way.
Speaking of not thinking that hard, I didn't even do the final big chance. I looked at it and I'm like, nah, that last one sucked. I don't really need the extra help. I'll be fine. And here we are.
So here we are. Now, thank you very much. We move on. This next one comes from Chaos Spirit cursing Las Vegas Gotcha, Cyrus21, who says, hey guys, just checking in so I didn't write any questions the last few weeks. My Legend of Gotcha this event was bad. No new servants. Oh well, maybe next go around. Anyways, I wish you all luck later this year for upcoming events, and I hope I didn't blow my luck during the anniversary. Good luck to you, my dude. Hope things get better. Moving on, thank you very much. This next one comes from a hunter realizing the servant's greatest gift is their kindness. Deep, but also shallow. Hey, young Stillfingers drink Omega and don't let into motor vehicles Drake lucky. I guess this was going to do not let me get things. I'll blow things up. I hope you both have had a wonderful week and are enjoying recovery mode from Summer 4 banners. Most of us should be able to rest our St. Quartz and Wallop till Spitstar eventually comes for it. This is one of those ones where I thought it was going to be short, but no, there's half a page here.
So I want to let everybody at home know, because they can't see, because I did a visual gag. Lucky, finish the first sentence. There's a line break, and I know that there's a read more click there. I literally dropped my finger, like to signal go, which I'm sure lined up perfectly with Lucky clicking read more. Then he was just like, this is longer than I thought. I'm like, yes, you were right.
I'm gonna put the Patreon translate. If you look, this is what I initially see. Okay, this is what I initially see. When I click more, this is what it turns into. Like, just that's what it turns into. I'm just like, I'm slightly shook, but
one of those comments.
Yeah,
not one of those comments.
So here we go. But on to other matters, which I'm already sorry for being long. At least you are self-aware. But while looking at Scotty as a character, I realized something about her. Something more important than her looting potential, her metal role, waifu factor, or the Scotty conspiracy. It's her kind-hearted nature. Scotty, when even as an enemy, showed us nothing but kindness by keeping from Sigurd Surtur from killing us multiple times, to even deciding to play it fair and not use an instant death rune. And our fight against her, even it meant 100% chance of her saving the world. So even after we kill her world, and the people she loves, she still finds the kindness in her heart to come to Chaldea to personally help us, asking only that we understand her motherly love is gone, and that she would like the time to mourn her world. Even though that she still finds the time to make us a personal Valentine's gift, meh. And further, she takes the time out of her schedule to help us in Summer 4, and who knows how many cases of grinding hangs out with Meb, even if that's not what she really wants to do. And I think that's the kindness of someone in a situation is so admirable. So once again, sorry for the long message. Too long didn't read. Scotty's probably the most kind of people in Chaldea. Pay that kindness in return and let her have a break, Smooth Brain. She deserves it for dealing with our shit. Well, on one hand, I will say, I do believe that Scotty is probably kinder, than people would think, but I don't think necessarily she is the absolutely most kind. After all, it is like I said, for her kindness was something that basically she forced onto people. Honestly, you can say her kindness is the reason why her lost belt was stagnating. Because while she tried to save the humans, she also did not try to kill the giants. She decided to love them both and let them just basically live in this eternal fucking stagnation. So yes, while she is kind, it is not necessarily kindness is not always good. It's not. Same for
I would say the snow that blankets her lost belt, which was also an extension of her power since she was a frost goddess, is a metaphor for her kindness. Why, yes, there is this soft, beautiful, squishy snow everywhere, but also, yeah, there's this fucking snow everywhere, my dude. Like a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Cold blanket.
It's cold, it smothers you, and slowly takes all your warmth away. But no, like as I said, she's someone who's gone through a lot of loss. And usually one cannot understand how do I want to say this? Kindness without understanding sorrow is the most empty, I want to say.
I mean, it's basically Gaity's pity bullshit. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, that's how very sad for you humans, you suffer and die. I will fix this. And it's like,
yeah,
dude, what the fuck? You don't know nothing.
Yeah. So, honestly, and again, like, with Scotty, like, helping out and, like, recent things, it's like, she also probably does that not just out of kindness, but also she feels it is her duty to do so. It's like it's like also the same can be said for Shishi Huang, who literally in the event is all like, hey, whenever you get done with this shit, let me know and I will start building my fucking fabulous empire again. It's like, I know what's up, but I'm just gonna watch over you and help you do what you do.
Yep.
So again, I'm not gonna necessarily refute that she's kindness, but I don't think it's necessarily her greatest strength. Her greatest strength is that she was once a ruler who has immense power and whatnot. And sometimes that power is just sometimes, maybe not going immediately ham on everything. Fuck, how many times has Gil jawed because he doesn't want to fucking use Aya right out the get-go? Are you gonna say that Gil is kind? Nah, Gil's prideful.
No. There was a lovely discussion in our Discord the other day, because I'll admit, I was a little sassy with people, because they're, as usual, some people are, very, very harsh on the Ishtar, and I'm like, alright, guys. Listen, just because Nasu doesn't remember the passage from the Epic of Gilgamesh where Ishtar literally cries about all the humans dying in the flood and tells the last living guy, hey, sorry, my bad, I won't do that, we won't let the gods do that again, doesn't mean that that's not part of the original characterization. And also, why do you believe Gil about anything? I mean, like, Kazgil's usually pretty sensible because he has that whole self-actualization, completed his character arc thing, but because Nasu for some reason insists that Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night Gil was not corrupted by the Grail, not evilly influenced by Kyrie or anything, that means that all the shit he does as a real shitheel antagonist is all just him deciding to be a douchebag for like 10 years straight. Including eating orphans and all that other stuff. That's just Gil, so don't always trust that guy. He is not kind. He's just an asshole. Huge douchebag.
Yeah, so, like, Gil doesn't go full ham out of his egotistical pride, and, Scotty didn't go full ham because of her, I can almost say, egotistical love. She decided that she would love you, therefore she would not kill you.
Yeah, it is a very self-centered kind of like, oh, yes, of course. Love everybody. You weird invaders who are come to destroy my kingdom. It's okay, I love you. I'm gonna put you in my love basement. Goodbye.
Love basement sounds like a horrible, horrible place.
Well, I mean, it was a literal ice dungeon. I don't think it was that nice.
I know, but still.
It was very cold.
Love basement.
That's what Maeve calls her chariot.
And also, I do want to say, I do find it interesting that Maeve does have this interesting relationship with Scotty.
It's very adorable. Funny. I'm not quite sure why it got started. I think it was just they thought it would be a funny line for Maeve in her her My Room lines when Scotty came out, to be like, because her and Skahak obviously have this slightly antagonistic relationship where normal Skahak is way too fucking old for this shit, not that you should ever tell her that. like regular Skahak is just sitting there smoking a cigarette being like, I'm getting too old for your shit. And thus does not get along well with Maeve, who is, kind of a spoiled brat the entire time. Mm-hmm. As we have continued to see in Vegas. But Scotty is not that. She is much more like friendly, personable, and also she's got, big awkward Christmas cake energy. Mm-hmm. If you've ever, not that I own a Scotty myself currently, but if you've ever read her My Room lines, which I did when she first came out, yeah, she has a lot of baggage over like interacting with normal people once again, which because she's the Lost Belt version, almost a kind of like innocence about a lot of things, which just well, I mean, you can say it just confuses me, or you can use that one gif from Prisma Ilia of the switch being turned on. With Maeve, it's definitely probably that last thing.
Just something about Scotty just tickles Maeve's maternal instincts.
She's just somehow. Like, what the fuck is happening here? This is weird. This Skahak is like nice and squishy, and she likes ice cream.
But anyway, I do believe we have talked on this enough. So we move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Sencho as Love, Sencho as Life. Is curious about the Holo Console. Those all have been revealed. We got some artists out there. What Arco. It's great. But I say,
people
I hope
like the one girl with the planets in her hair. I've noticed.
Wasn't that the one that Paco did?
I think that was Paco's one, yes. Listen, they haven't debuted yet. I just know them vaguely by images. I can't remember their names yet. It'll come to me later. I'm bad with names. Ow. I just kicked my footstool. Anyway, Lucky, yes, you were reading a question. Sorry about that.
There's no question. It just says, I hope you both are well and happy Spawn Day to you, Lucky. Yes, my birthday is in 3 days. I will be 30-something. I don't remember. What is time?
Oh my god, I don't want to derail, but I didn't make an appointment to go get my second shot, so I had to fill out the form there, and they, like, ask you how, it's like, what was your birthday? And then how old are you? I'm like, fuck, math. Math. Because at a certain point, you stop actually doing the math yourself. You don't want to know how old you are. You just know, I'm old enough, people. Yes, thank you for your love wishes. Well wishes, everybody.
Yes, thank you. And we move on. This next one comes from King of Apples, who delight antagonizing people with completely inappropriate grammar. I feel like I should just skip this one. I feel it.
Hold on, let me read this. Is there bad grammar here? I mean, it seems grammatically sound.
I'm sus. Anyway, I shall read it. Question. With the introduction of the Pretender class as a counterpart to the Alter Ego class, are we finally done with new servant classes? I mean, at this point, we have literally doubled the number of classes Fate started with, and they even form a kind of mirror image with one another, with 2 advantage and triangles in the 7th class outside of them. Where we even go from here? A class to make a trip. Are you supposed to say a triangle? A try? Or something? With Shielder and Berserker? Honestly, no, I think it's fine. I think it's good to have a couple outliers and things. Like, you just use Berserkers to smash everything and use Shielder to defend everything. Then again, we still haven't got another fucking Shielder, so,
Yeah. Asking the question, are we done with classes? The answer to that, I think, is honestly, I don't know. You never really know what Delightworks is going to do. I do think that we do not have any, like, mechanical demand for classes, so it would probably be pretty good for them to obviously fill out Pretender, obviously, and also probably do some work on, like, we still don't have, like, a Welfare Avenger, for instance. Some of the extra classes don't have any really good permanents. Moon Cancer is also still, like, a horrible clusterfuck of, limited units, and then Ganesha, who is perfectly fine, but has a very specific design niche, so if you want to beat up Avengers or don't want to use Art Stall, well, good luck, buddy.
Yes, we have a Welfare Alter Ego. Yeah.
Now, you can argue we may need a third one, because we have 2, because that rerun has passed and you've gotten your chance to get both of them, but that's a different thing. And also, Mechaliz is quite effective, though, what she does.
Mm-hmm.
And, we probably will get more welfare-like foreigners and maybe, rulers and other stuff, just because, like, they've only got, one niche covered. That said, there are probably certainly other classes they could do, but also they don't have to, so shrug.
Actually, you can get Welfare Moon Cancer BB from the main interlude, right?
Yes.
Okay,
if you have missed CCC, you still have access to main interlude ass BB, because you can buy it again and get it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think we're going to do Gunner, just because this is the beautiful thing that FGO does do, is it does not do what a lot of... I mean, like, it has its own arguable, like, new special snowflake classes, Shielder I don't think has ever been alluded to as a possibility, other than... like, hypothetically, there was the Stray Servant who used a shield. I don't know if in the old Fate notes she was supposed to be called Shielder, because she had a name before she became MASH. A separate character concept. But, like, and then obviously, like, Foreigner is brand new, because somehow, other than, well, rather I should say, somehow in Fate, we never had servants from space before.
Yeah.
We only had enemies from space in Extra. So it's kind of interesting to see how that kind of shakes out, and it's got all those, like I said, it's got its own special snowflake things, but it does not have the problem, I think, that other Fate works do, where we feel the need for everything to include, like, gasp, here's a new, never-before-seen class you've never seen before. Nobody knows what this class is. Like, that happens a lot with Fate spin-offs. Like, for instance, technically, Fate Stay Night, Anger Manu is that. It's like, oh, he's, this dark symbol, this Avenger, in the original Fate Stay Night continuity. In the original Extra, you have, Saver show up as the ultimate boss, and never again has that happened. And then in CCC, you've got BB as a Moon Cancer and her alter egos,
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the great thing that FGO does is If it was just fold all these extra special ones and just the things that we already know, like
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think we're gonna get Gunner, even though hypothetically, for some weird reason, Nasu was like, "Oh, if they have guns, they're gunners, not archers. Archers don't use guns." And then you get to FGO, and you're just like, "Oh fuck, every archer is just some rando with projectile weapons." Shit.
It's really made of archers, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, I think we've talked about this. I don't know if it's just like the Japanese like otaku culture, or if this is like a particular pet peeve of Nasu. I do feel like Type Moon will never fucking walk back anything ever. Unfortunately, to their detriment sometimes. If they say something, like, that thing always has to be true when they originally said it. I don't know if Prisma Ilia directly introduces a new class. They do. They have interesting new characters, and they do weird stuff, but no, I don't think they necessarily go in the thing. No, I mean, like, yeah, they insist on Altria being the correct spelling, even though you can hear people say the words. And other similar things, like how in interviews Nasu has repeatedly insisted Gil is the strongest, even though we do keep seeing, like FGO, for instance, is all about escalation. There are so many more characters who should be stronger than Gil. Now, I mean, I don't know. You can argue that because we introduced the Grand Servants, it can still be true. Gil is the strongest servant. He's not the strongest Grand Servant, though. But yeah, this means that, like, a lot of weird class concepts have been thrown out there before, but still, that it's a thing that happens a lot, and I'm glad FGO, like we said, has been simplifying. You mentioned this earlier, Lucky. Like, gun classes are just archers. Voyager is just put as a foreigner, even though technically Voyager is also his class name, rather than give us a new one. Like I said, if we do get the character faker Iskender Shadow, she will probably be a pretender now, because that works for, the kind of character she is without necessarily, fucking with the mechanics, right? So that's good. But like I said, I still don't think that means necessarily we're never going to get another class. It's just, mechanically, I don't think we need classes.
Thank you for posting Foo Fighters. I love Foo Fighters, by the way.
But yeah, I think we danced with that class question a lot. So let's... Oh, we gotta load more.
Let's keep going.
Let's move on.
Moving on. So, this next one comes from... Been years since I ran out of embers. They say, question, Dear Lucky Omega, how previous summers used to go was that there'd be one servant by Takeuchi and one by Wada Arco. Last summer, Takeuchi was preoccupied with Castor Artoria to draw some servant, only a constant. Will you think it'd be the same You'd think it would likely be the same. They do the same with Wada Arco this year's summer, since she just finished doing Vit for Annie, and recently a VTuber. I see this was edited, so I'm pretty sure that this recently a VTuber was literally last minute.
Yes. That I'm gonna assume probably. So I want to throw this out there, right? The design cycle for servants, that really depends. Like, yes. Takeuchi was busy, but also, I don't know, like, he was drawing Morgan as well, so we don't fucking know. That might be too busy for him. It's only a few months apart. That said, summer is later than usual, and it's not like she hasn't constantly been doing Tomomovich assets for the last, 3 years or whatever, right? Just want to throw this out there. Every new Lost Belt, there's new Vich assets that she drew, so...
I honestly, she might have had been done with Vich a long time ago. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, we don't know, because Vich has been in the story so long. Those sprites might have been in there, and we know from her trailer what her first ascension looked like. It's entirely possible that hasn't been done. But what I want to say was, so Hololive Ian's second generation call was earlier this year. I don't know how that lines up with the 6 to 12 months worth of work on new servants. Doing the art design and consulting, because obviously that is a process where, cover, the talent, and the artist all, go back and forth in a great big circle to make the actual final design product. I'm pretty sure that cover does not just point out at an artist and be like, tonight, you, and then they just make something, right? That's not how art design works. That's not how servant design works either. They usually go back and forth with the writers, Takeuchi as the art director, and other people on the team. So, I don't necessarily know how that matches up, so I mean, I would be saddened because there's a lot of great Wada Arco characters I'd love to cross off this list for a new summer if she was too busy. I do not necessarily know if, like, it's the same thing where, like, because Castor Artoria obviously was very clearly an important story character for a story that was super delayed because Nasu was basically killing himself writing Lost Belt 6 and the first half of the Tsukihime remake or whatever, right?
Right.
He was very busy. So they had to delay that. I think they meant that to be more traditional, right?
Right.
More like in parody. So Takeuchi got way ahead of time and designed all these assets for a character who was going to be important later. Vitch is kind of the reverse. She's been important for a long fucking time and only just now is finally playable. So I don't actually, like I said, I don't know how their work effort lined up. So we'll have to see. We haven't even, like, because it was so far out, we haven't even seen a banner for summer. Like, usually around anniversary, they show us, like, one NP and then at least the first banner's worth of images, right? We didn't even get that. We got the welfare and one male costume. So we are very loosey-goosey.
Well, like I said, it's only a tradition until it gets broken.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like we said, they just brought up, there used to be one servant by Takeuchi every year, but last year he did have to skip because he had literally just been designing Castoria, who was obviously a big fucking deal. And, that summer was right after that anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
This year, things are slightly different. We'll have to see.
Yeah, maybe we will be back. Maybe we will see. But with that, we shall move on. So, thank you.
Summer Medusa. Okay, thanks, bye.
So with that, we move on. This next one comes from Moon is considering opening up a therapy office now because for some reason she's really good at giving advice to others and making their lives better somewhat, but is awful at taking such advice herself. Question: Hey there, Lucky and Omega. Hope you're both well. Is there something that you do better for others than for yourself? Like the example in my long ass alias just now.
I think, and this is general for most people, editing yourself is hard. It's much better when you edit for other people. So, yeah, I'm way better at proofing and editing other people's work than my own. I think I'm very heavily reliant on, these days, Google to double check my grammar and spelling, and then for me to yell at Google for, like, no, that's not grammatically what I mean, thanks. Pork is a proper noun, but it is not a name. Thanks, Google. Constantly trying to change the tense on all my grammar. But yeah, no, it's absolutely a thing I think in general people are better at it. I know it is something I am better at because I am usually fairly decent at like proofreading and like picking out like that's an odd way to phrase that, or somebody missed a comma here kind of a thing. That doesn't always work for me. I have to sit for a while before I can edit my own work like that.
Let's see here. For me, I'm pretty sure there's something. Like I said, like you're talking about giving advice. I'm actually pretty good at that. There's a lot of times where I be telling people like anecdotes and whatnot, and, doing, little stories and lessons and whatnot. And people are like, man, Lucky, you've been through some shit. I'm like, yeah, I have. But, I would say I also have like, I won't necessarily say I'm necessarily bad about following the advice myself, because usually my advice is, don't be a bitch and, whatnot, speak your feelings, don't lie to yourself, all those kind of, kind of things. Like, it's actually one of the greatest jokes. Loth is hanging out with his, mom today, so he can't, cooperate with this. But I have been working on Loth a long time to get him to stop being so goddamn nice to everyone. It's like, no, Loth, sometimes just get mad. Get mad, Loth. Tell them fuck off. Do it. I won't say I'm the best influence, but sometimes you just need to tell people to fuck off.
I mean, that's certainly a quality I think he has gradually been reflecting as we play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's funny, we actually talked about that. He talked about this at the end of our last episode, talking about trades. Because when the format started, him and Marth were doing pretty poorly, and he did some weird trades to, like, give Marth some cards that maybe he didn't need to trade that were pretty good. And now Marth is, like, number 2 or 3 in the format, and he's not even there half the time. Because he's basically retired to, like, only show up to formats when he thinks he's got a fun deck to play. Which is perfectly valid. No offense to that, man. Salt of the earth. But, like, he's definitely gotten a lot more assertive of just being like, wait a minute, no, I don't need to give you anything. I don't need to do anything for anybody. I'm at the bottom of this format, other than Robin, who literally is 0-0. Or 0-1, sorry. Robin was Nan and Nan for a while because he slept through one format. Now he's 0-1 at 0%.
And no, I still think, if you're saying you need to tell a person to fuck off, if you need to tell a person to fuck off, tell them to fuck off. Just because they're a customer does not mean that they are right.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, then again, we're right now in a very aggressive job hunting economy, so you might be able to take that chance. And you probably should, because my understanding is that after not interacting with people face to face, most people right now are huge assholes. Did you know the FAA is levying a record number of fines against disruptive airline passengers this year? Who could have guessed?
Wow.
Yes. They're at like double their amount of fines and complaints in this half of the year than they were all last year. So yeah, no. People are being assholes out there right now, and you should not necessarily put up with it because shocker, jobs are in demand right now. Because a lot of people don't want to go outside because it sucks out there.
Yeah.
Also, Axe, to move on to your comment earlier. Oh, we were absolutely gonna give him shit for trap stun, but he knows what he did.
Yeah.
He understands, and he could yell at us back because it was only his decision. Ooh, that's a good way of looking at it. I like that.
Yeah. No, Filthy. I'm gonna read this out. Filthy Casual has put out something. My first boss once told me that customers are always right, but not everyone is a customer. Some people are just assholes.
That's a good way of thinking it. Yeah, if you got an actual customer, that's the right way to think about it. But if you just deal with an asshole, then fuck it.
I appreciate it. That's good. That's very good. Everyone, engrave that into your hearts. You shouldn't be an asshole to just anybody, but if someone's being an asshole to you, well, that's a fucking carte blanche, motherfuckers. So, with that, though, we shall move on. The next one comes from Raiden with Carmilla and Summer Oki Guns Ready. Question: what servants would you do gangster-style movies with? Gangster-style movies? What? What is gangster-style movies?
Yeah, I mean...
We're talking like The Godfather?
Yeah, I guess, like, it's not gangsta, so I guess classic gangster movies?
Architect does have
would be a pretty fun Yakuza movie, yeah.
Let's see here. If I was to have a gangster movie, who would be there? Who would be there with Hefe Lucky?
Who would be saying hello to helping you say hello with your little friend? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would do gangster movies. I think I would just, do movies with Carmilla.
Man, well, clearly Tamamo would be my gangster wife. I think she actually pulled that off really fucking well. Actually, really fucking well.
I mean, also, I would like to say that for certain interesting applications of the word, Koi in the Sky has a great gun mall.
Yeah.
Very literally. By the way, so mall is old, spelled MOLL, is old gangster slang for your girlfriend, your squeeze, and then gun mall is occasionally when your girlfriend would be armed with a gun and like ride shotgun. Like, having an armed girlfriend. Because they used to be class in this town, but now there are no rules.
No, well, I don't want to necessarily think too hard on that, but no, I'll put Tamamo, all of them, at my side. It's like, yes, just all of them.
I mean, it's true. I mean, Moriarty is a gangster movie, but that's the thing. It's his gang, not yours. So,
yeah. You thought you were in control? No, he was in charge.
All right, let us keep going then. Let's not.
Let us move on.
We've been here for 40 minutes already.
But to say, next one comes from, hey you, yeah you, the one reading this. Can you feel it? Can you sense it? Lotto season is coming. Wait, no, is it? Was it? Nope, that's not it. No, all I feel is hungry, a bit tired, and a little irritated at this.
I feel slightly sweaty, and like I still need to shave. Is that what Lottos feel like? Lottos feel like an itchy neck?
Probably. I don't know.
All right, I think we've lambasted the commentary enough.
Hang on.
Wait, nope, never mind. I take it back. We haven't lambasted them enough. What the fuck? You've bullet points here. This is like a numbered list, but not a numbered list.
Alright, so here we go. Hey, look at Omega! Hope summer event has been enjoyable for you both, as it has for me. Seriously, so much QP, and I'm already in QP hell. Firstly, a very happy birthday to you, Sir Lucky of House Tamamo Lavaz. May life grace you with good health, happiness, and steadier tires. Spelled with a Y, by the way. Also, a very happy weekend to you, Sir Mega of the Runface Core.
Thanks.
Second, ascending and leveling SSRs is expensive as fuck. The in-game counter shows I have farmed about 500 million QP, yet I am left with just under 2 million QP. On the plus side, all the summer units barring Oki are 999, or in the case of Musashi, maxed out. As my French teacher in skill once joked, the word chérie has two connotations, a dear one or expensive, or maybe both at once. I get it now, I really do. My question for you two is, with the advent of the Super Grail system that will reach NA about 2 years from now, I've been left wondering which units are which units in, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be red marker, going to take all the way. As of now, Gilgamesh and Reshigal are the only ones with potentially Morgan getting the super love provided I get her. I'm curious, who are the two of you going to spend hundreds of millions of QP, 10 grails, and about 4,500 5-heart members to get to the pinnacle of their performance? Hope the two of you have a great week, and once again, a very happy birthday to Lucky in advance. I mean, Tamamo. What? It's gonna be Tamamo, all my Tamamos, then all my Sakura faces, and then I'll think about it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Mordred, Ishtar, and Erection Golf for sure, which are still my only hundos. I know Jolter's got her NP up. She does a lot of good work. Jolter could get grails. I don't know. I gotta block out. Remember, I still got my 5 grails blocked out for Space Ishtar. But as you did note, it's a lot of fucking work, sir, and it takes a while. Though I don't know if I would call it super grail. It's just more palingenesis, even more palingenesis.
Palingenesis 2.0.
Hey, remember how palingenesis stopped? What if it didn't? That's usually what FGO does. Hey, you know this thing? What if we just push the goalpost back another 20 levels? Have at it. Here's some 5-star embers. And you're like, gee, thanks. Thanks, buddy. Here's some servant coin. Our new cryptocurrency. Don't spend it all in one place. That's what servant coin is. Small Da Vinci has turned the computers in Novum Chaldea into a crypto miner. And she wants you to spend them to get more servant stuff. Yeah, it's a lot. You need servant coins. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. Our good write-in person didn't even account in coins, though.
So with that, we shall move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from Mooncell Master on the bus back home, who says, "Hello, Sass Master Lucky." Yes, that's me. And Omega with the man with the dead draws. No real questions this time, just sending the good vibes this time.
Hey, I'll have you know, I went down to the wire with Dallas in a 30-minute 2-in-1 match. Just because I don't draw the out at the last minute, don't be calling me dead draw. Dallas immediately dead drew and jobbed in semis. Cards.
Yeah, I think they both came to hang out.
Yes, there was a lot of sadness after this week's tournament, and I do believe that both after a little bit of initial trading and stuff, both Dallas and Loth slunk off to go hang out and play 14.
We're on a little special community. I think it's also the part since that like a lot of us like I think it's only like Loth and Dallas who play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like when they want to come in and really want to like bitch about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Things, we're just like, oh man, that sucks because we have no actual frame of reference.
Even if you guys are the Crow Mafia 1 and 2, unless you get me to like send you the raw footage, it's not like you can know about it until it goes public like 3 days later. Anyway.
Yeah, because they talk about it. They're usually coming fresh off it from the tournament when they come hang out with us.
I'm like, there's no fucking way Loft doesn't like, when Loft's like, all right, well, Lucky's playing 14, I'm gonna go by. I'm like, there's no way Loft's not gonna go complain about the hammering he just did. Or, a week ago, jump in and be like, hey, motherfuckers, I won!
Yeah. Yeah, no, like, as in, like, yeah, I can especially say for, like, last week, yeah, no, like, he was like, yeah, he wasn't, like, super giddy about it. He seemed more amazed and shook that he won.
It was a tight win, so yeah.
But yeah, no, it's listen. Anything like this is my rule of like in talking. Don't do anything or say anything with other people that you don't want them to go spread around in other places. Like when I use you for example, when I yell at you for whatever reason, I completely believe that you're gonna go, if you're in a conversation with someone else, you're gonna bitch about how I'm yelling about you and how you think it's not fair. I just completely accept that about life. I'm just like, yeah, no, that's fair.
I mean, I think that's our general rule of the internet. Don't say anything anywhere that you don't want to come back later.
Yeah.
Which is why sometimes Lucky and I both choose not to say anything at all. Mm-hmm. Which is a capacity that I believe a lot of people on our server need to learn. Listen, guys, I've legitimately had to consider if I need to make the actually rule, which is just like, guys, please don't over-explain literally everything. Please. No. Stop. Calm down. Everybody just wants to be helpful, but everybody's just digging that hole so fast, and I'm like, wait, no. You're in the hole.
Also, I'm gonna call on that Axe. There's been plenty of times when you've been complaining about how other people treat you and whatnot, and have continuously harped on it. Out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. Like, interactions, like, I'm gonna drop some names here, but so forgive me, the people who hear this, but interactions with Vesper, interactions with Dallas, interactions with Loth, interactions with Robin.
Hey, you're naming all the people in my Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament, which Axe still plays in because he likes the card game, even though he usually talks about how terrible his time is, because it's very stressful for all of us.
Yeah, no, and
it's
that's
very
the thing.
intense and literally sweaty.
And that's the thing. It's stressful. If it's stressful, you want to go like decompress somehow. And sometimes bitching to other people about people to other people is the way to do it.
I mean, and I've talked about this with Axe. I don't think he appreciates my coping mechanism, but when I'm like really, really stressed out, I let it out verbally very rapidly. Like I will cuss a lot and I will yell and I will tell people to shut the fuck up for a second, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm fine now. I got really pent up. Yeah, no, you've yelled at me a couple of times, and I'm like, good, let it out. Don't let it fester. Let it out. That's what I'm doing when I'm like, when I'm calling Axe, a little. You're a bitch. You're a little bitch, Axe. Oh, you're gonna play this card against me. I'm like, that's me letting it out, because otherwise, you guys will have noticed this if you watch this, when you watch us play Yu-Gi-Oh, the two people who are playing are almost always dead silent. Especially if it's a good game, and then everybody else is like way chattier, and you can tell the difference because I'm usually trying to like make sure there's commentary, make sure there's dead air when it's not my game. Occasionally I will just do the joke like, yes, Loth has set 3 cards and passed. I do like both commentary just to joke around and keep the video entertaining, and then when it's me, like, if I'm not horribly suffering, if I'm actually trying to play a game and my brain is working overtime, which, by the way, this week it was, that was the day after my COVID shot, and I was super feverish. I was boiling a little in my skin there, and somehow still nearly kicked Dallas's ass. I'm just dead silent, the hamsters are spinning, and, it moves on. And occasionally the hamsters get locked up, and I just have to yell and scream, because my only other way to let stress out people is and I've talked about this before in Yu-Gi-Oh! I need to stop doing it because it only hurts me, is to, like, let out that energy physically, like, banging on the table, kicking something. I've banged my head into walls before. That's less aggressive towards other people and doesn't hurt their feelings, but it hurts my poor bones, and someday that's not going to be good, so. Be careful how you de-stress yourself, guys, is the moral of this story.
Yeah. But with that, I think we've talked enough, and we shall move on. By the way, this all came around because Omega was refuting a man who called him the man with the dead draws. That's wild. Conversation drift is crazy.
Yeah, just don't sass. This is the thing. I feel like people feel like everybody knows they can't sass Lucky unless they want to be sassed back. Like, everybody knows that. But I feel like for some reason, because like I usually try to be a moderating influence, people feel like they can take free shots at me, and I'm just like, no, you can't do that. I'm actually very similar to Lucky. If you shoot a shot at me, I'm gonna shoot back. You gotta be careful. You gotta remember the rules, guys. You gotta call blue punch buggy, no punch back. If you don't call no punch back, I'm gonna punch you back. I don't take it lying down.
And Lucky's in the fact, even if you call no punch back, I'm gonna punch back anyway.
Yeah, Lucky doesn't believe in the punchback rule. He's like, "Ow, you hit me."
I guess that's a good way to differentiate us. With the mega, you can say the rule and be okay. If not, no. If you do it to me, no, you are just dead. But I hope that came across. Yes. Well, yeah. Well, access that point. Yes, I am quick to anger, but I'm also quick to forget. But moving on. This next one comes from Waka Waka Zabun, CEO. They say, question, since I don't much know about the series, what, if anything, do you guys know about Strain Fake and the writer? Does it seem odd that the character doesn't Does it seem odd that the writer doesn't want characters to be featured much in FGO? And does it seem strange that Nasu, as the core original writer, would have difficulty getting permission? Or maybe Nasu has only really had ideas for EX, Enkidu, and Gil, and not much ideas for any other of these Strain Fake characters. So, first off, I know a little bit about Strange Fake. Like, I know some of the characters, and I know like a little bit of the overarching story. I don't know the fine details. Really don't. Really haven't sat down and read it.
It's a light novel primarily, which, as we know, we don't get those over here, so it's a little rough.
Now, personally, I don't think it's necessarily strange about the writer not wanting their characters in FGO, because it's kind of a, what do I want to call it? Not necessarily a show of goodwill or whatnot, but he has characters that, it's a fate story, so they're going to go through twists and turns and story things and whatnot. And if they are put into the game before those twists and turns have developed in the story, well, then when they're in FGO, once they're in FGO, they'll lose some of that impact in the original story, especially if they show some of those twists and whatnot.
I mean, guys, literally just check out the Requiem collab, which was done for like the second volume, and it gives away like all the things.
Yeah.
Which because I believe, I don't remember the author of the Requiem light novels, but I believe he's also worked on FGO directly and some other stuff for Type Moon, so I'm sure he was like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I know what's up.
Now, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but Nasu does not necessarily have direct control over every Fate entry. I'm not entirely sure, like, what I don't know if it's like a franchising deal where it's all like, where some guy goes like, hey, Nasu, I got a great idea for a story. Can I write it? And Nasu be all like, you have my blessing, child. Like, I don't know. Like, I honestly, I don't know how this was, because there's a lot of, like, actually, that's a good question. Like, who pays who? Does Type Moon pay people to write story, or do people ask Type Moon, hey, can we write stories? How does that work?
Yeah, I don't actually know. If anybody does know, let us know how the pay schedule works. Like, does Type Moon like commission Narita, the writer for Strange Fake, to be like, hey, write this light novel series for us. It has this rough outline, blah blah blah, and we'll pay you so many per volume when you get to it. We'll give you this much flat rate and so many of the profits, or whatever the deal is. Or is it like Narita calls up his buddy, yo, Nasu, I want to write a light novel. I'll give you $5. And Nasu's like, sold! It could really go either way.
Yeah,
it's all about that writing stuff. And I want to say, to comment on some of the stuff said, like you said earlier, I don't know anything about Narita personally. Like, I don't know much about like him or his style. But I do know that Nasu is pretty connected with a lot of writers. Like, not only does Type Moon have like a core writer structure, but also he knows lots of other people in the industry. Like, there was that whole what was it called? It was Chaos Dragon, I think, was the name of the anime version. But like he was literally part of that RPG group that got turned into an anime adaptation thing, which was full of a bunch of other nerdy writer people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Gainer Butcher was in there?
Yeah. He had the really edgy character. Duh. I think Nasu basically just played Saber, which, shows you everything you need to know about him. But yeah, like, I know he is connected to people in this industry and has lots of friends who occasionally he just dials up and is like, hey, you want to write something? I wouldn't say that Strange Fake is necessarily a mystery, but Strange is literally in the name, and so is Fake. It is a story that is about weird things and false things, which, like Lucky mentioned earlier, as a Fate work, it's got a lot of small twists and turns and stuff. So I assume the reason why he is hesitant or why he is concerned if characters get used, it's because he knows that FGO has no breaks. It will just do everything. And presumably out of respect for what Naruto was doing on his own time, or just because he didn't want to step over everything. Like I said, Nasu doesn't like to accidentally or on purpose correct anything that happened ever. That's why we got Kingu instead of proper Enkidu in Babylonia, because it left the writing open for the characters to be distinct, but also to serve the same role in the story, basically. And kind of, go back and forth without writers just stepping on each other's toes. I think it's just a, people doing business professionally, like, knowing how to work in that space, It's for instance, we're not necessarily super connected with lots of other, like, podcasts and videos, but we don't go out there, like, shit-talking them another, we wouldn't want to necessarily step on each other's toes. I hope nobody's talking shit about us. Nobody's told us that anybody does, so, it's just, when you exist in the same space and you're generally friendly with each other because, we're all here doing the work together, you just kind of develop good habits and try not to step on each other's toes and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Those are my thoughts.
Okay. Well, I basically got everything out I wanted to say, so we can move on. So we move on! Thank you very much! This next one comes from Screams in Maid. They say, "Hey guys, happy early birthday, Lucky." I would mention my own birthday, but that would be on the day of the next recording, so I'll wait until then. As such, I have a question to ask you guys. In the introductory line for comments, he mentions that you shouldn't consult her on any matters related to love. My brain is now thinking, what other servants would be it for the better that should not be consulted with about love? If this was worded horribly, I apologize. It can be hard for me at times.
The wordery was not the best, no?
No, it was, but I got your gist. Unfortunately, there's a lot. As much as I adore her, would not ask Shuten about love, would not ask Raiko about love, would not ask Kiara about love, would not ask BB about love, would not ask Maeve about love, would not ask Fergus about love, would not ask Ku about love.
Well, yeah, you probably shouldn't ask Ku about love. He would just be like, eh.
It's like the list is very, very big, honestly.
Yeah.
You gotta remember.
I'll be real, Kama only tells you not to ask her about love because she's a self-loathing love goddess. She doesn't really like her job description.
No.
Arguably, she's still better about asking love than a lot of people who you would get answers from, let me show you, die horribly. You know, just play the Dark Souls You Died sound. Or, what is that? Is that something you can eat? Which, I gotta be real, that's a very, very Japanese-ass thing to do. I can't think of a lot of Western characters who are like that. Is that like a specific pun? Or is that just because Dragon Ball did that?
I think it's because Dragon Ball did that. Man, you could ask Eric, but then you gotta be worried about his wife.
I mean, you would really be asking his wife, because the problem you could ask Eric Bloodaxe, but he would just go, blood. And I'd be like, yes. Thank you for your insight.
So, yeah, no, there's a lot. Like, honestly, like, servants usually aren't that great about love. Like, shoot, even look at Cleopatra, like, for instance. Completely, head over heels for Caesar. Usually does not express it that great. Either she is about to murder this man, or she is about to worship that man. There is no other switches. Brynhilder, she loves this man, therefore she's gonna stab him. That actually happened.
I mean, that's technically a combination of Odin and the bad guys in the Volsung Saga.
Yeah, but still, that's like usually love in heroic stories usually doesn't go well.
I'm pretty sure. I should double check because the poll's over. I'm fairly certain that, and if nothing changed, that means that my fanservant Friday poll this month would be, the winner would probably be Kriemhild, which is, not locked in. Kriemhild did win, Avenger. That's Siegfried, not Sigurd's wife from Nibelungenlied. And while she wasn't really bad to Siegfried, she does arrange a marriage to Attila the Hun. It's going to be very funny, by the way, when I talk about that bit of lore. Siegfried has lines for this, by the way. But also, she did arrange to stab and set on fire a lot of people to get back at them for killing her husband. Just FYI.
Yeah. But, yeah, like I said, usually romance in legendary stories usually doesn't end happily or start happily.
Ask your friends the Knights of the Round about love. Don't do that, by the way.
Don't. Yeah, definitely add Lancelot and Tristan to that list of probably should not ask. Like, honestly, I was trying to think about it and maybe asking people about love. Like, honestly, I think Tama would be pretty alright. She's evil, but she knows some things.
Well, also, I do believe it is explicitly mentioned that her witchcraft is a specific style, which includes, gaining favor for men and women. Like, it's specifically the kind of, like, charm style that involves matters of the heart. Classic, like, love charms, or marriage arranging, fortune-telling, shit like that. Like, that is actually in her magical wheelhouse. She would be a perfectly legitimate conversation to have. Don't ask Artemis.
Not.
You could ask Skahak Scotty, but that
I feel
end up with you being turned into a popsicle, so.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure that get dark pretty quick. Do not ask Consort You.
I mean, you're just asking for trouble. Either she's gonna be like, fall in a ditch and die, or she's just gonna be like, oh, Jagu-sama. Just stare into the middle distance and be like, okay, that's illustrative, but not descriptive. I know Paisa in a picture is worth 1,000 words, but...
Don't ask any of the Artorias. Apparently, you cannot eat food. You cannot eat love. I would definitely ask if we're on the positive side. I'd definitely ask Boudica about relationship, romance advice.
I mean, yeah. Hell, her considering the many jokes that have been made at the expense of Boudica's design, her Valentine's is remarkably positive that way. She's making candies for her family. She has a husband and daughters. Canon mother. Eat cake. Eat a cake.
Eat cake.
You could ask Mary, but that might get a little love you and everybody. Don't ask Mozart. He will give you a dirty limerick. It will not be helpful.
It'll probably be about butts.
Parvati is a love goddess. That would probably be a good one. You might want to watch out, though. I don't know. She might get a little too intense. I feel like with Parvati, she would be helpful, but there's definitely some inherent sitcom danger there.
It's not as bad as Raiko, but it's in that it's kind of leaning towards that.
I mean, yeah, with Raiko, you just trigger her madness enhancement. It would just be love.
I wouldn't ask Tomoe either. Tomoe has a very traditional, warrior woman kind of idea.
Tomoe only cares about one guy so much that she thinks that her love for him makes her arrows catch fire. That's not how that works. I love that description of her NP, by the way. She says it's because of her relationship with Yoshinaka, but actually it's because of her Oni blood. She shoots flaming arrows. She refuses to acknowledge this. But all of Tomoe's normal characterization is that she's kind of a dork she's on all the time, and by on I mean she's punching. Don't ask Ibaraki. That would just be that would literally be, is love a candy? Can I eat it? Is this cookie love? No.
Honestly, I feel like you can't ask Brynhilde, but you could probably ask Sigurd and Siegfried.
You could absolutely ask Sigurd or Siegfried. Yeah, they'd have some stuff. I mean, like I said, Siegfried in particular definitely had a more positive relationship. He was just such a big goober. He got stabbed in the back.
Damn you, Linden Leaf!
There's a whole different list of people I would not want to talk to about trust building. But this is the problem when you're dealing with heroes of myths and legend. Their lives are full of fucking drama. Lucky did not go all the way with this thought earlier, but definitely alluded to it. There's a reason why we don't ask these people these questions, because these are people from stories and history who would not be famous. I mean, Irie would probably be good, but I feel like I'm in danger if she would take me on a car ride.
No, I think Irie is still in that kind of ditzy when it comes to love kind of thing.
Yeah, her own relationship is I feel like a lot of characters, like I said, there'd be that sitcom danger. Nothing bad would happen, but they'd give you some ditzy advice about how they just stumble into love, and it's just all right, that's adorable, but not helpful.
If I remember correctly, Earsvale met fucking Kiritsugu. She had a fucking tank. It was just driving it around, and it was love at first sight. It was just kind of.
Actually, I mean, there's a whole different aspect where we need to talk about how Irie's 5.
Yeah.
In Zero. I mean, she passes the Jack Harkness test, but still, it's a little weird.
Pets, I don't know.
Normal Kets, I think that would be okay. Summer Kets, that's gonna be your bones. That's your pelvis.
Snoo.
And also maybe some of your joints. Some joint locks. Watch out for that.
Would not ask Drake. Drake is very much, just take it. You want it? Get it. Get it. Which is not probably the worst advice you can get, but probably not the best either.
No, definitely in that middle zone of that's slightly dangerous. Also, there's... With all of the characters who are renowned for stealing things, it's very, Summer Carmilla-esque, right? That you're just asking... I mean, it's not the worst fate in the world, much like Axe joked about the snoo earlier. But, that's just asking for the... you start talking to Drake about love, she might get some ideas, and you might get stolen.
This almost happens.
Don't ask
Summer.
Anne and Mary. That also will happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'd also agree. I don't know about Melt. That's...
Honestly, I would not ask any of the Sakura 5. I adore them, but would not.
I mean, I might ask Passion Lip as a hypothetical. I think she'd just, turn into a blob. And
very
just
cute
be
blob.
very confused. She like you said, she'd be adorable, but she wouldn't know what the fuck she's doing either. Melt would no. That's
I think Melt will turn this around. It's all will turn this on you. It's what? Do you love me? And then no matter what you said, there'd be teasing involved.
Yes,
She'd either
remember, Melt is lawful good hard sadist.
Yes. She'll talk you, the conversation will end up be talking about her. And no, I would not say Rama, because Rama's all about just one woman.
I mean, honestly, a lot of our Hindu pantheon characters, a lot of them feel like they've got, because there's a lot of like reincarnation and you know, similar lives and stuff. A lot of them I feel like I would not be asking. I wouldn't ask Arjuna, because he had that whole thing where he accidentally got a bride, and when he went back to his brothers in the wilderness, his mother said he had to share whatever. He goes, "Mom, look what I found." And his mother, without looking up, says, "Remember, you have to share with your brothers." And he's like, "Well, it's my new wife, so that's weird." It's like a literal rom-com moment. Everything is older than dirt, and I'm just like, that's I don't know if Arjuna could be helpful about anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, we're spending a lot of time on this, but I think it's fun.
I mean, it's so fun. Like to, you know, flip it, for instance. Karna would try and be helpful. I don't think he has any good advice, but he would try.
Yeah, he's like, "How do I win her heart?" He'd be like, "Be a good person." I'm all like, deep, but not exactly helping.
Don't ask Ganesha. That would either be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Excuse me, I have to go hide in my room. Or it would be like, you want to know about love? Please sit with me and play this 120-hour dating sim. And I'd be like, okay, but that's not
I feel like she
time
would
efficient.
say. I also feel like she would say, it's like, "Oh, you just gotta buy you know, like the girl, you know, a bunch of like, you know, premium currency for a gacha game or something." Which I honestly might work on Oki, by the way. Jesus.
I mean, yeah, that's Osaka Bikini would just be like, "If you love me, give me your credit card." Like
also
that
do
is
not
literally
ask
part of her original dialogue is talking about, you know, getting you to spend on her.
Let's see here. Do not ask Gil about love. Don't ask any of the Gils about love.
No, that's not a good idea.
Also
don't ask Ishtar. She has the same problem that all of our other deities of love do.
Listen, Enkidu really never loved anyone besides Gil, and maybe a sacred prostitute for reasons. So probably not the best.
I mean, Enkidu is a human-shaped noble phantasm. I don't think they have a lot to input on this situation.
Let's see here. Don't ask Hans. Don't. Actually, that man has a very, very bad history with romance. The man was rejected literally all his life from men and women. Died alone. It's horrible.
It's probably why all of his stories are so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
It's just all about, you know, they say write what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, didn't historically Leonidas have a good relationship with his wife?
I believe so, yes.
His thing, don't ask Gramps.
Don't do
that.
Honestly, ask Hassan though. I feel like Uncle Hassan might give you some solid advice.
Well, also, isn't that the reveal in Camelot? Is that the tag-along kid is actually, because it's Cursed Arm is the current one. That's actually his son from before he became Cursed Arm Man.
Yeah,
he probably knows some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And 100 Personas definitely has a persona for that.
Don't ask Serenity.
I mean, you could ask Achilles, but that Achilles is one of those, you know, live fast, die hard, leave a pretty corpse guys. Like, that's his life story. Like, he knows a lot about love in a lot of forms, but his versions of love is mostly, I banged a princess while disguised as a woman, and then when Mabroski died, I kind of went mad and stabbed a lot of people.
So you probably, I know he's not out. You could probably ask Odysseus, because Odysseus,
Odysseus would be good. His advice would be extremely intense, but he does literally have concentration love. Mm-hmm. He really wants to go home and fuck his wife.
That's a light novel. All I want to do is go home to my wife, but all these girls want to bang me.
Yes, correct. That's the isekai light novel version of the Odyssey. I also would not ask Kirky, but that's just because she's a fucking witch.
I don't think she's necessarily bad, but she definitely has a way. She's kind of in the pirate. She's kind of has that pirate man says, like, I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah. You could ask Medea, but that's one of those danger coin flips. Like, on the one, you might get helpful big sister advice, but she might also be like, no, listen, honey.
Oh, no, it's this. I think it's the type of guy, like, if you get a character that's like Jason or like her original master and fucking Fate, you know, the kind of blonde, pretty boy, spends money, don't think about money. Medea's just gonna tell you to murder the fucker. Other than that, though, I think
Medea is definitely that bad bitch girlfriend. She's like, oh, honey, no, you don't need that. You don't need that. Don't worry about that. I would not ask Dantes about anything other than revenge. No. Maybe if we had, whatchamacallit, like, ruler Count of Monte Cristo, kind of a thing. Like, that'd be fine. But no. Not the Cavern King Edmond Dantes Avenger we've got. No. I don't ask him about anything but coffee or vengeance. Like when the date has gone wrong and you need to plan revenge, that's when you call Dantes. Dantes' romantic advice would just be wait and hope.
Also, despite his man genius, will not ask Holmes.
No, that's because Holmes is very, very famously without romantic entanglements.
Yes.
There may or may not have been a thing with Irene Adler, but if there was, it was incredibly subtle. And that's it.
Let's see here. I'm trying to think off the top of my head here. Anybody else that we could say yay or nay to? Honestly, John, you probably get something okay from. As long as she's not in her summer form.
Yeah, that's just Big Sister Beam. I mean, Jean would definitely have the innocence of the advice.
Mm-hmm.
Da Vinci? No. That sounds like... Not unless you want to, learn about, paintings or statues of love.
I think Da Vinci could talk about love as an abstract concept, but not necessarily any particulars. Murasaki... I'm going to lean towards no on Murasaki. She did not have the best romantic life. Honestly,
Murasaki's
that's probably...
very goth.
Yeah. Like I said, her husband was... Her married life was short, and depending on the story, was not that great. And then she spent a lot of time being pursued by a fucking, regent who really wanted to get in her pants.
Now, on the flip side, you could ask, say, Shonagon, because she has a lot of court gossip about things. You'd learn some shit. The Pillow Book was a very interesting, introspective look. Also, no, don't ask Merlin. He doesn't know. Merlin doesn't know nothing from nobody. I would also say don't ask Shiki. She doesn't. Her relationship's really weird. She wouldn't be able to coach you.
Hug zoned. Ozzy's probably have the mindset, I'm so fucking great, why would I need to know anything about romance?
No, he has a very sweet relationship with Nefertiti, I think. He would probably know some things. He got around there. But I don't know if he'd be able to ask helpful advice, though.
Yeah.
He's a very sweet boy, but also has very large pyramids. He would probably be something like, I don't know, build her a temple, and I would be like, God damn it, Oz. Where am I going to find space for a temple? He's like, go beat up the next country over. We already talked about Cleopatra. She's not... That's another volatile one. Her idea of romance would be like, well, if you like a girl, you should conquer a neighboring Roman province and give it to her. And I'd be like, cool, okay.
Wait, who are we talking about there?
Cleopatra. Somebody in chat asked Cleopatra again, and I was just like, yeah, we already talked about her. No, she's way too volatile and extreme. Her idea of romance would be, well, when you have a kid, name it Little Caesar.
J.K. Fox is weird because she's a demon who's just pretending to be a high school girl.
I mean, she would be full of modern, cheap, over-the-counter magazine advice.
Yeah.
I don't know how useful it would be. Also, she's only a genius some of the time. Being a genius also fills her with self-loathing, so she's not going to do that for you. Hey, Suzuka, stare into your magic sword of contemplating the universe.
Also, as much as you may love her, don't ask Nero. Don't ask Nero, don't ask Liz.
No, don't ask Nero, it would be about yourself. Regular Liz, I don't think, understands what love is.
What is love?
She would sing that.
Yeah. Don't hurt me. No.
Sorry, I just got lost in the Hadaway. Oh... 80s and 90s Eurodance. What can't you do?
I don't know. You could probably ask Sheba, but Sheba would also probably try to monetize it somehow.
Yes, Sheba would run a booth and she'd charge you a nickel an hour.
Just like in Peanuts.
I don't think Donzo knows anything much about that.
I think Donzo does know things about love, but it's at conflicts with her feelings about duty.
I don't know if she'd be able to tell you. I don't know if she could communicate it well.
Yeah.
She is Robot Bomb. Don't ask Fumokotaro. He's busy. I mean, yeah, he wouldn't be helpful. He'd try.
Yeah.
He would gather intelligence on the target of your question of love. Would he
Honestly,
be helpful?
Funnily enough, I think Berserker Flat would be okay.
I don't really know. I don't remember much about his story. Shockingly, having recently watched all of Castlevania, I don't remember much about real Vlad Tepes. Now, Castlevania Dracula, depending on when you catch him, what mood he's in, you could definitely ask him some things. Just watch what day of the week it is if you don't want to get your whole city burned down by his giant flaming fucking face.
Don't murder his wife. It's great. That's all you have to do. Don't murder his wife. That's it.
Yeah. Just don't do that. Don't be dumb.
Morgan Freeman voice. They were dumb. So,
as the giant flaming fucking Dracula face comes down, we just do that smash cut. It was that at that moment he knew he fucked up. And then the guy who's responsible doesn't even get his until like 4 episodes in, but then a demon eats his face and it's great. Wow.
Yeah, I can't. Also, I can't say anything about Himiko because I don't actually know her personality and lines off the top of my head.
I know that she, if I remember right, she's like bubbly and enthusiastic, but I don't know if she knows anything.
Listen, I will not ask anyone in the Gouda Gouda crew.
No, that's once again there. So we should talk about this. We're deep in this convo hole because we have nothing to talk about. We're faffing right now. But like I said, I think there are ranks. There's the Dark Souls you died noise, and then there's like the romantic comedy shenanigans angle. Gouda Gouda all fall in that rom-com area where like you're not gonna die, but it's gonna be a whole thing. Don't do that. That's just asking for like Gouda Gouda take over Valentine's or some shit. And you're like, no, what have I done? What fresh hell is this? There's a lot there, and then there's actually getting reasonable advice. I feel like Nagatoro definitely falls in that, is love Bishamonten? Is love a spear? And then you go, well, hypothetically, no. And there's a lot of future characters, like, I don't actually know if you could add... Yes, let's ask Fran about love. Ow, wow.
I just be like, oh, you're so cute, and I give her head pats.
Yes,
I
just
move on.
pat. Thank you, Fran. This is a love letter. This is a love letter to you. It's a bullet from my gun straight to your heart. Will Omega ever stop quoting Metal Gear Solid? The answer, no.
No. On that side, that's why, let's see here. Well, I do say, like I say, Tomo, I would not ask Koyanskaya, though. No.
Yes, Koyanskaya would give you the Sniper Wolf quote. Sending you a love letter. Love blue, even on the battlefield. But, there's lots of people. I do think that in general, once again, to double back. No, I would not ask Kat. That's just the... So there's a tier, I think, above rom-com, which is just, that's not a productive conversation.
Honestly, I think Kat would be personally fine. Have you seen, well, you don't have a lip, that's right.
No, I don't have a lip.
And Lip's Valentine, it's actually Kat that's actually helping her make and deliver her Valentine to the master.
It's incredibly ironic considering she also has, I mean, it's not as bad, but she's wearing mittens. That's very funny.
Yeah, no, they're part of the cute paws, they're part of the cute paws club. That's what Tomacat. I think that Tomacat actually has a new line for Lip. That's where she says that. But no, like Kat, this is me just singing the praises of Kat. But Kat, despite her eccentricity, is actually a very caring person and does help out people. Like specifically Lip, they're best friends.
I suppose that does make sense because the aspect of Tamamo Kat is supposed to represent is like her wild. I wouldn't necessarily uninhibited, but almost like childlike side, like just full of wonder, no barriers. Head empty, no thoughts, only Cat now. Only one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, impulsive. But yeah, no, Cat, wants to monopolize Master for her own love.
Cat still technically does have that witchcraft rank, even though it's explicitly pointed out it's only rank E now because she's forgotten how most of it works.
But no, I think Cat would be okay. You can't ask her anything complex, but she'll help you out. Oh, let's see here. Think about anybody else.
Another unproductive conversation? Astolfo.
Yeah. I'll put Bradamante in that same boat.
Bradamante is once again one of those people where you just you can ask Bradamante, you'll just get an essay about how Rogerio is the best. I'm like, cool, thanks. With Astolfo, that's just, Head empty, no thoughts. Himbo energy.
Oh.
Let's see. Hold
Sorry,
on. Can I time out how long you've been here? I think we've been doing this for at least 20, if not 30 minutes. How many of these are left? Where are we? We're not that far from the end.
We're not that far, but I think we should probably move on.
Yeah. We still got a decent number. I still got a little bit of scrolling. Are any of these long? A lot of them have read more breaks.
No.
I don't think any of them are, like, explosively. Just, some of these are clearly because people are going apeshit with line breaks. Though I suppose you can't indent in a YouTube comment, can you?
Not sure.
That should be a feature more. People need to be able to actually mark the start of paragraphs. Let's see, where was we?
I know where we
was
are.
The last one we did.
So, after that thick, lengthy discussion, we're going to move on. So thank you very much for that. We move on. This next one comes from the one guy who exists, who says, "Hey, Lucky Omega, the summer event really kicked my shit in. Only Summer Osakabe Hime in exchange for about 200 Saint Quartz. Not any even of the CEs. How?
Ooh, ow.
That's pain.
I know the CE rate-ups are bad, but damn.
I hope that your future roles have better luck than I did with this event, and I hope you both have a good day. P.S. Happy Spawn Day, Lucky." I'm glad that everyone's calling it Spawn Day. That's why I put it. That's how I put it in the thing. But I was also like, "Hey, I'm gonna be weird." But everyone's calling it Spawn Day. Yes, it is now officially called Spawn Day. Exactly. Yes, I love it. But thank you very much for that. We're moving on. The next one comes from Sakura Fan 07. Road trip to New York soon? TM question mark. They say, "Hey, Lucky Omega, hope you're doing well with the return trip to NYC and farming loader boxes in the near future. My question for this week is this: which would be more likely to happen besides Summer Karma, Water Arca Santa Melt as next Santa or Christmas for the Christmas, or Santa Helena from the arcade coming to FGO as the next Santa for Christmas event? Omega is still looking forward to the Saber 2 Wars pregame, but first Battle New York and Only Land rerun if the upcoming schedule is to be believed. And hopefully you'll still be having fun in the progression tournament. And Lucky, happy early Spawn Day. And hopefully your scooter is fixed by the time this is read. Keep up the great work, and you guys rock." No, you rock. Update with the scooter. I've actually been trying to get in contact with the manufacturer so I can actually find out which exactly tire I need to get it fixed. I've had a little bit back and forth, and I'm just waiting on a response as usual. But on to your actual question. Not entirely sure. I don't think, honestly, I'm pretty sure we got Small Da Vinci as a servant because we have Small Da Vinci as a fucking story character.
Yeah, and like her release on arcade was just, oh hey, it's Children's Day, we can do something.
Yeah.
And then they completely gave her a different kit and stuff.
Yeah, so unfortunately, while we can't technically say that we did get an arcade servant, it's not necessarily that there's any exclusivity to having Da Vinci Rider. It just makes sense. Unfortunately,
I would argue, I think the, welfare Satana is in a similar case where, that's just a character who exists. The seasonal characters feel less likely, right? Those are kind of specific to events and timing.
Yeah, trust me, I want me a Selena Hand, and Jesus Christ, do I want me a JK Santa. Jesus. I die inside.
We went all out on that one.
I die inside every day thinking about it.
Cry every
But
time.
I don't... Yeah, but... So, no, I don't think that's just there. At this point, I don't think we're going to be getting their seasonals. It'd be nice. It'd be really nice.
Not unless, the storyline of Arcade finishes up or something, and then we get, Arcade collab.
Mm-hmm.
Not that that's that crazy. Remember what happened this year for collab.
Yeah. But, with that, though, a Santa Melt, I think, would be interesting, but I think people just want to see Melt in a Santa costume, which is fair, I suppose. Honestly, I think both of these have a really low chance of happening.
Listen, I don't think there's anything that can be predicted about Santas anymore.
Yeah.
I think the only vague theme we could possibly latch onto was that for a while there we were doing some characters who were appearing in, Part 1 main Lost Belts, but then when we got to Santa Cats, we jumped, way out of line, and then it just stayed weird. Technically we've gotten 2 servants from America now, because Karna was in that segment and Nightingale was in, so it's just, whatever now. It seems almost more like we're just figuring out what the fuck, who the new Christmas servant is, and then what the story is, and then we design the welfare from there. Though, I don't know, the match chapters are catching up slowly. Maybe when we get to, Santa Nightingale's, profile, we might, find some artist notes about, why we went that route, you know?
Uh-huh.
Several characters' alt arts have emerged just because the artist was like, hey, I thought of a cool idea, or I drew a cool thing. See, Writer Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
But out of those, yes, I do technically think that the idea for Santa Melt would be that, most likely.
Most likely.
Are there any other questions buried in there? No, that's fine. Whenever we get closer to Saber Wars 2, we'll be doing that pregame. We do have a little bit to go. As always, FGO has many, many little things.
And speaking of many, many little things, we move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from the man Contemplative Nihilism. They say, been a while since I last sent something in the mailbag. Unfortunately, due to my alias, I don't have a question for you guys today, but I will wish Lucky a happy, early spawn day and a mega. I hope you're enjoying your evening, though I think you might be sitting in some water. Take it easy,
Oh, no,
gentlemen.
I'm very dry. Other than the fact that I'm... Actually, no, I had to take a break a second ago and turn my overhead light back on, but since I ran the light off for a while, I've been cooled off, but it's mostly just been hot here. I'm not in the panhandle, I'm not drowning.
My manga got delivered. I should go pick that up in here in a second. I'll do it after mailbag gets done. Okay. Well, with that, thank you very much. We move on. This next one comes from Ali Avocado Zed. Just Zed. They say, comment. Hello, potentially confused Lucky and Omega. How are you doing as we wait for news on JP Summer? I hope things are going well, and if things aren't, that they do better. Question. It's been a while since I asked a question, so here's a certain one. Which of the ones we have in NA, since this will be easier for you to check, which swimsuit's final Ascension artwork is the sexiest to you? Final, huh?
All of them. I mean, I gotta be real, I'm literally looking at all of them, and I'm like, all these are great. I have literally been going down the line and double checking. I mean, I think probably, like, out of the ones we have so far, Musashi's is my favorite, just because, you know, like, it's got the tan lines from her third Ascension costume, but she's wearing the America bikini. But, like, all of them are really good. Shout out to Wada Arco's continual big horny energy.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, no, all of them are really good. I literally looked at all the ones that are out so far, and no, they're all nice.
Oh, for me, probably Summer BB. I know it's just a leotard, but she has the big titty energy, just going strong there. Like, they're huge. It's like, damn.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. It's got that Wada Arco power.
Mm-hmm. And same with, again, with probably Summer Raiko. It's not doing anything particularly fancy. She's just big.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting considering that it's bikinis, but there are a lot of interesting and good ass shots in the certain summer designs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Friend's got the rear facing pose. I'm just looking at it. I looked back again. I actually think that out of all of Wada Arco's, I think Summer Nearest is actually one of the most tame. She's like underwater with the fish. It's like, sup.
Is it?
Yeah, she's just chilling under the ocean.
Yeah, she is. Interesting. I'll also say, let's see here, Summer Carmilla is also really good. Classy.
I really like Summer Carmella's design. Yeah. I actually really like a lot of the effort that's happened since Carmilla's debut for, like, her artist to actually make her look like a human being and not just a weird statuesque lady. Because, like, let's be real, guys. OG Carmilla's art is kind of weird and very stiff. But, like, in CEs in her summer version, damn.
You remember just how everyone was so blown away by her, that one anniversary CE of her, just in the casual clogs with the dye? Everyone was just like, that's Carmilla? Like, yeah, that's Carmilla.
I mean, yes, Lucky. That lives in my head rent-free. So, yeah, no, I remember. I fucking remember. That's going to be a pretty serious gut check for me in the future. Because I actually do quite like Carmilla, and like I said, her non-OG designs are pretty baller. I would not say no to a regular-ass Carmilla full costume.
Yeah.
Her animation update is nice, but she's definitely she has the old school art problem. She's got hello, I'm a BDSM vampire. Hello, I'm a BDSM vampire with a skeleton dress. Hey, I took my blindfold mask off and got more chains by.
You know, all of Carmilla's best points are in literally everything else. It's kind of weird, but I guess I had to work.
We'll have to see what's on the up and up this year.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. In general, though, like I said, if you're shooting for the stars, usually it's Wada Arco or Raita energy. Summer Murasaki's on the bottom of the list. Damn Raita. Somebody let you out of your box. It's scary. It's horrifying. It's too much power.
It's so good. So good. But yeah, I think we're done with that. We will move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from the Corruptor of Say So. They say, hey, hope you guys had a good week, knows I didn't.
Oof.
My question is, now the summer event in FGO is complete, who story, quest / casino would you guys rank as the most to least entertaining? Underground Swordmaster included if you want it. My personal rank would have gone...
None of those had story.
My personal rank would have been gone Carmilla, Melt, though it pains me. So, Bunnytoria, Hime, Flying Bikini, Space Ninja, Samurai, J. I don't think I can necessarily rank them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I did my own rankings, it would probably be similar, but I do think all of them had their own really unique strong points. We'll talk about this later, but in general, I quite appreciated how we switched gears a little bit and casts, like, every different casino.
Mm-hmm. Also, I noticed your ranking doesn't have John's casino at all.
Yeah, you forgot a casino. I'm not sure. Where would I even put that? That one was pretty funny, but it was also kind of...
I think I could give you my top 3. I think my top 3 would probably... Well, no, my top 2. I don't know what I would do, but my top 2 would probably be Melt's casino, then fucking John's casino.
Yeah, they're all pretty good. It's just...
And no, then their third would be Need Hime, probably, yeah.
All of them are strong in their own ways. So, I don't know. Like I think I've said this before. I'm not necessarily get the best at ranking stuff, and I mean, I don't want to say that some of them aren't better or worse than others, but I don't necessarily think ranking them is in the like doing whatchamacallit, like going out of your way to like compare them to one another is the best way to take it. They're all part of the same event, you know?
So with this...
Okay. Axe, you're not going to like this because you're constantly seeking answers. The answer is because Summer, shut up. That's the literal... I some people will get more caught up in the lore than others. I mean, it is a little dumb, but like, I appreciate how naked Summer is, where they're just like, fuck it, we're done coming up with excuses. It's a summer event. You want it. You know you do. Shut up.
Like, literally, that's how this thing opened up. This is why, like Goldorf is such a great character. He's like, why is this happening?
And you just have to be like, it's summer, bruh. Like, it's like, some people who have big hard-ons for the lore and stuff will probably have a problem with that, but like, I don't necessarily. I do love that it is an explicit theme that is at the conclusion of like, oh no, it's very funny. It's arguably quite dumb. They have broken down so far as to just go like, we don't even have an excuse this summer. It's just fucking summer. Everything is just weird. Why are we here? Because summers.
Just posted more Carmilla because it's great.
Yeah, Carmilla has great fashion sense. Also, I'm gonna assume it's, well, I don't know. That looks like it's just a halter top. I feel like her bust is more pronounced in the second image, even though she's farther away from camera. I
think she has the same bust size. Also, she's wearing a turtleneck in the.
It's true. You can make, especially with the dog, you can make some sweater puppies jokes.
Yes, you can.
The common theme in both of these though is boots and belts. Holy shit! I didn't even. Yeah, okay. I thought it was a weird like split leg thing. No. Carmilla just has extra holsters and belts. Classy pants though.
All right. So we move on. Thank you very much. This next one comes from doing Buster before it was cool. Actually, wasn't Buster the original cool meta?
I mean, yeah, no. Buster was the OG strat when there were no break bars, and he would just be like, "Hey, what if you just oops all red cards?"
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that was the first save target. You got a Jalter, then you got a Merlin, then you just murder everything.
Yeah, everybody dies. Jalter double Merlin strats were, when they did that Rashomon rerun, that was how you beat the highest level difficulty. Jalter would actually do that much fucking damage, which is horrifying. But then they were like, no, that's not... So we can't stop people from breaking the game with damage total. We have to, like, literally give them HP gauges.
Yeah. But they say, hey, I'm again lucky. You all are my fave, so I first want to say you deserve a round of applause. Clap, clap. Pachi, 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 pachi. Secondly, I was watching a movie with Christoph Waltz, Inglorious Bouncer, Downsizing, Django Unchained, etc., and the way he smiled in one scene immediately made me think of Columbus. So which actor would play your favorite Fate character in a live-action movie? Honestly, I don't even know who I would think to play Tamamo. Listen, I'm gonna be real. I am an American, so I mostly know, like, American actors and whatnot, and I would not let them touch a fucking Fate tries with a 10-foot pole. Just in general.
Correct. I challenge the premise of the question, sir. I don't think I would. And I don't know enough about Japanese live action to cast the hypothetical live action Fate adaptation.
No.
Which I will say has probably not been made because the SFX budget would be through the fucking roof. Which, thank God, is probably why nobody has tried to make a live-action Fate adaptation, as far as I remember. Like, other than musicals, which the stage play, which is its own thing, and also already has, like, a really interesting thing, but, like, yeah, no.
So, unfortunately, because of that, cannot necessarily answer this question. So, we will not. Thank you for sending it in, though. Appreciate it. Thank you. And we will move on. This next one comes from the Will-Wisher. The late one. You know who you are. They say, hey, y'all. Wanted to send you guys good vibes. What did I say about role-playing and questions? Like, insert good vibe noise. Like, what is a good vibe noise? Just, oh, yeah. What, that?
I mean, there's probably some vibe check noise jokes, but those all have warning loud on them, so nah. Also, we don't do that anymore. That joke's dead.
Just go. That is now the sound of good vibes. I don't fucking know. But also,
I would just insert you're getting a call on Discord. That's your check.
But they finish with, and thank you for the show. Regards, the Will-Wisher. P.S. I do make wishes and wells, but in this case, I'm wishing you guys well. I would love to throw like a penny in a well and make a wish.
I have a jar full of a lot of pennies because I took all the quarters out for all of my years in college to buy like drinks and snacks in the vending machine, so it's just nickels, dimes, and pennies left. It's a damn shame you can't get anything good with a nickel or a dime these days.
No, you really can't. Well, honestly, I wouldn't even say with quarters. I think you have to be minimum like 50 cents for anything.
Oh yeah, no, you don't use single quarters for anything, but at least quarters are compact enough. You can stack like 4 together, get $1, and you can usually get something out of the machine. Inflation is weird though. Like, I don't want to be like back in my day, but I do literally remember when I was a small child, candy at the checkout was 50 cents.
Man, I remember. No, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and meal this. Like, back when I was like an actual kid, I would go around scrounging for like glass bottles and aluminum, go to the fucking convenience store, get that turned in for like $1, and then I go load up on like 5 and 10 cents, like 10 cents taffy. Just get like a handful of that shit. I'd be like, yas. That was my youth.
Yeah, I never tried them, but there were also, we've made this joke about Gacha before. There were always the like gumball or small toy machines that were 1 quarter per spin. You could get a small piece of candy that way too. Yeah.
Oh man, I miss those days.
Fucking inflation.
Anyway, moving on. This next one comes from the Abandoned Warehouse. It says, hello, Lucky Omega. Hope you had a better time than I did. Lost my phone in an accident, and it's going to take a few months for me to get a replacement, so no FGO for me. That is, yes, as you say, Pain Pecco. Jesus. Sir, I am sorry. What? Like, what happened? Like, did you get in a gang fight? No, I'm not going to let this go. But anyways, enough of that. Question. So now that we have a Tamamo Fox, a Tamamo Cat, that is actually a dog, Tamamo Bunny, and name drop a Tamamo Shark, what do you guys think the next Tamamo will be? My money is in Tamamo Bear. That's hilarious.
I think we're gonna pull an Araki Tama Lion.
Tamamo Lion. I will say Tamamo Tanuki or Tamakun. Just double down on shapeshifting abilities.
Tamamo Tiger.
Tamamo Tora. Tamatora.
Then they need to make the fuck, yeah, that's a great pun. No, if they do the Tamamo Tiger, the Tora, they need to do one of my favorite jokes from History Stronger's disciple, Kidichi, where one of the characters misinterprets the word Torama as Tora Uma. Don't worry, Kenichi, we'll deal with your tiger horse. So, Tamamo Tiger Horse, Tora Uma.
Oh, that's great. Alright, but that's that. They also say, have a good week, arrivederci. So, moving on, this next one comes from a master having a romantic candlelit dinner with Morgan, while Burgess and Sith spy from the room next door.
I don't know if they spy.
It just might be in there. It's like, where's ours?
Burgess is huge, and Babanshi is a fairy vampire lady. So, yeah. Anyway.
Tanakaku. Hey, Lucky Omega, hope your time in Vegas was fun. I've been enjoying Salter's animation update. When the question came to me, which I now pose to you, which servants would you like to move from Storylock to the general pool? I would pick Nero and Salter, since as far as I know, Lakshmi is the only 4-star AoE Saber in the general pool. Have fun, and good luck getting ready for Gilfest.
I mean, there's nothing to get ready for. I mean, yeah, so, like, this is another one where we kind of have to, like, challenge the premise. I don't think
Also,
that's
also
ever
yes.
gonna happen.
This person did absolutely just forget Siegfried.
Yeah, Siegfried exists.
Isn't Suzuka?
Yeah, Suzuka's
also
permanent too. Yeah, she's AoE. This person just didn't do their research. Sorry to dunk on you like that, but yeah, no. I was just gonna I was literally double checking. I'm like, is that true? I don't know. Let's see. Landling is support. He's non-damaging. Deermid is single target, I think.
Yeah.
Saber Deerman. Yeah. He's quick ST, but Suzuka's an AoE buster. She makes it rain swords, guys. And yeah, she's permanent. Let's see. Rama's single target. Dion is non-offense. Like, yeah, Sabers used to be bad, but they're a lot better. And Siegfried has existed since launch. And you can roll, in GP anyway, you can roll Saber Lily in the FP gacha. So, yeah, no, there's a wealth of them.
Fortunately, I don't know, like, about the actual question, I don't actually know the niche spread that well that I can pull one out of my hat. Like...
Let's see. I mean, here's the thing. Almost all of the Sabers who are story locked, for instance, are AoE. Like, the ones that aren't are, I think it's just, like, Yagyu and Bedivere. Why, yes, I would love if Bedivere was in the FP gacha, because he's fucking 3 stars, but, you know.
Who do I...
Like, let me look around at a couple of the units. Let me see what's up. Let's see. Vessel, Ash, Tristan, Fairy Tristan. Archers are mostly alright. I mean, let's see. There's a lot of limited archers. We could probably do some more with archers in general, but, like, you got Atalante, she's AoE, Emmy is AoE. Emmy's really broken. Yeah, Medea Lily's story lock, that's always been a pain in the ass for me. I still don't have her. She's one of the better healing type support units in the game. That's probably a decent niche. Yeah, I don't really... I'm literally, like, scrolling through, like, lists of servants, and I'm like,
People
yes,
asking for Asclepius.
He's another good healer who was story locked.
People would probably want to throw down for probably getting Coup Alter on permanent.
Yeah, even though you can get it for free. Are there any other casts? I mean, there are the story lock casters, but are they worth shipping out? Not really. No.
Let me see here.
Story locked writers. Red hair, that sucks. Rider resistance, who cares? Kets and Maeve. But you got Ozzy permanently, so you can work with that. Wow, are there no story locked 4-star writers? Interesting. Don't take that as a cue. Delay works. I mean, I guess you could argue with Habatrot because she's FP and story locked, but yeah, it's weird. Let's see.
They probably...
It would make my NP5 Python easier, but no, there's plenty of spread in the others. It's mostly it seems like it's the Knights classes have that problem. Cool, just literally story locked Berserker. Okay. Wow, that probably makes people a little butthurt.
Actually, is there a bunch of AoE 4-stars assassins? I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think so. Let me go back to assassins. Let me see. Sort by rarity. Go to 4-star. Let's see. AoE. Well, we have 2 welfares who are AoE.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Okita is AoE. Is she or is she single target? I think she's AoE. I haven't used mine a lot because she's very finicky. Yeah, damage to all enemies. Danzo's story lock. That is unfortunate, but she's there. Wu is single target, I believe. There's 4. Let me take that back. There's 4 AoE assassins, or 3. Sorry, I said 2 before. No, it's one of them's Kahak. So just because you don't use it, she doesn't exist. So yeah, there aren't a lot of rollable AoE 4-star assassins, but they give you a lot of free ones to compensate.
We're talking 4-star, my dudes.
Yeah, he's specifically talking about 4 stars because there are 2 story locked 4-star assassins, and they're both AoE. It's Kato and Yume Ren. Probably the extra classes, I think, would be another big one. Like the fact that Setonai is story locked and not permanent is kind of a bummer, especially because she doesn't do a lot in the story she's locked to.
Honestly, I feel like Gorgon should probably be moved to the permanent pool.
That's another good one. There's no permanent. Oh, actually, no, that's wrong. There is.
I send Lobo.
Which is very weird, by the way, because he's got the true name system and shit that he's not story locked.
Yeah.
Gorgon is, but maybe they learned their lesson. Gorgon would probably be a good one, just more opportunity to roll Avengers. Are any story locked rulers, are there? No. It's just that your choices are Estrella and John, and then every other ruler is limited.
Little pain.
I don't actually know how like the phrasing on story locking characters will do it. There are certain raid ups where you can still roll story locked characters. It just happens less and less often. And I do think that JP used to do it more. No, there's no story locked Moon Cancer. Let's hope there never is. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if they can or would want to move any units out of story lock. Like, I gotta be real. If they didn't have story locks, there would literally be no reason to roll in the story banner. You would just roll on whatever rate up was rate up. No, that's not entirely true. Both of the Fairy Knights are story locked, and they have true name reveals. But they've also gotten three frickin' rate ups in as many months. So that seems to be FGO's current solution to many things, is just give more rate ups. Yeah. Let's not get in the weeds too much on this one. We're pretty close to the end. But, like, I think it's an interesting concept. You were unfortunately wrong about sabers. There's several AoEs there. I do not know if they can or would. I definitely think there's a couple of narrower zones. I don't actually know why so many knights are story locked. And yet somehow Lancelot isn't.
But with that, let us move on. So thank you very much. We move on. This next one comes from the man too lazy to fix his spelling errors. Rude. Dear Lucky Omega, what's the most frustrating piece of advice you've ever been given in regards to FGO? For context, I find that I'm constantly having to explain to people that their easy 3-tune lerp strategy doesn't work for me since I don't have a max limit broken K-scope. This usually has to be followed by saying that no, I don't have a Nero Bright either. And just wondering how often this happens to the two of you. It used to happen quite often until people realized that I don't give a shit about their comps.
Yeah, I think that happened as well. There was a lot of jazz about somebody make the joke about the Scotty conspiracy right now. Well, guess what? I rolled a couple rolls for Scotty and she didn't come, and I had other shit to do. I had things I gave a much bigger fuck about, and so yeah. Also, you need lots of skill levels for double Scotty, and NP levels. So I don't know if those things are related, X.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, you say it's a joke, but I don't think we get your meaning. But yeah, no, it's the Scotty conspiracy is definitely one of the most smooth brain thing where everybody's just just use double Scotty for everything. Okay, motherfucker, what if I didn't have an NP full Lancelot and did an NP
what if I didn't have a
friend?
Scotty? No one has an answer. Yeah.
What if I don't have two? And that's me because I literally don't have the Scotty. I can't double Scotty. It's okay. How is what you say helpful to me? And they're it's you just hear the Windows error sound in their brain. Dun. We have talked at length about the smooth brain problem, where people just get they want to try and cut down on the time investment so they can get more out of it. So they try and figure out what the most smoothest brainest is to get things out. I think the problem is just that when you assume that everybody is thinking in the same lines as you.
Also asks, no, I don't mind working with others and whatnot. I don't want to work with others who just want to take the easiest way out and not actually think about the problems at hand. I value my independence, so I want others to value theirs as well.
Yeah, Lucky's thing for support setups is he has no control over what you put on your support setup, so he just ignores it.
Yeah.
When MMOing, Lucky can absolutely yell at you to be hey, what the fuck? Well, FGO's not a cooperative MMO. There's no PvP. Though they've joked about adding elements that are PvP.
I'm sorry, I have to point this. I like how Axe brings up MMO, and then when we tie it around, it's how does that relate to FGO? It's just
well, he's saying that he doesn't see the MMO side of you in FGO, but that's where I want to call him out and be FGO is not an MMO, my dude. It's single player PvE only. Your friends are just there to help you along and foster community, but they're not actually required. Other than that, I guess technically, sorry, my Ethernet splitter just fell over because for some reason it's made of frictionless, shiny white plastic and it's completely smooth. So I need to get a paperweight and sit on it. But I caught it before it fell and could unplug any cables. But as I was saying, it's FGO does have a friends mechanic that sometimes feels kind of tacked on. I think it's because they wanted the dedicated support lot for story supports because. The story. And then they were well, shit, what do we do when players aren't playing story? We'll just give them support slots and they can do with friends. We'll make a friend system. You can borrow your friend servants. All right, okay, thanks, bye. And they even improved it by adding that extra slot eventually. The extra class slot, specifically, so. Well, and I mean, the headspaces aren't locked to specific games, but they're locked to specific genres. You don't need to think... You literally don't and shouldn't think about every game the same. You don't treat Dark Souls like you do... I don't know, what's a really casual game that requires no effort? Insert your own punchline. Also, yes, please, give me dedicated. No, Carlos, you're wrong.
I was gonna say maybe a Harvest Moon game.
Yeah, I guess relaxing. No,
Stardew Valley.
As a man who's heard the low HP bell too many times, no, Pokemon is not a low stress scenario. No, definitely like casual like Life's in farming games are like that. No, but I bought that Mario 3D throwback collection. Yeah, no, fucking. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of stress in Mario.
I just hear Kill Bill siren. Also, yes, Tetris is super serious. Once you get up once you get like to level 20, you're just like,
yeah. I didn't ever actually get into playing it. I should buy it sometime. But Nintendo was able to make Tetris a fucking battle royale game, and it works because yeah, that's how Tetris be. Tetris is serious business.
Third verse.
And then it just gets faster and faster. When you go to when you kick it onto the highest level, you know, that Tetris Type A is not a relaxing sound. It's like the Darude sandstorm of Tetris.
But yeah, anyway, but talking about things like, yeah, no, like I guess the overall is the advice is people assuming that they have the same exact tools that you do and trying to push that sort of strategy on you. Like, cause like again, like a lot of quote unquote meta strats involves usually having something that does a lot of damage, and then 2 support casters. Usually, like right now, it's like, you know, getting your Castorias or your Scotties, double Merlin. No, it says actually like double Koyanskayas right now. I guess it is. Yeah, you know,
or it's like, okay. Skya Merlin, Skya Oberon, whatever.
Yeah, and people just don't necessarily stop to think it's like you may not have that, or you might not have the skills in it, or the MP levels around. It's like all that stuff. So people is making assumptions about what tools I have available, I think is probably the worst advice. Honestly, than that, I think that's only like necessarily the bad advice I've been given. I want to say.
I got 2 points I think to follow up on that. First of all, I would like to say I think this is something we've been going on because we've been doing this like 4 years. We crossed over the 4th year somewhere in there. Like it's on Let's Talk FGO, I think something we've been consistently pushing for a while is the idea that every servant is a unique tool, and yes, you should not necessarily be approaching every unit as if you own every unit and have them maxed out all the time. This is how, as a follow-up, this is how those meta team comps get built, is one guy, or like 10 guys or whatever, crunches the numbers and says, mathematically, this is the biggest bungasist. Here's how you do it, and here's why. And then everybody latches on and says, wow, well, the math says this is the best. So people treat it as a solved strategy. The problem why it's not solved is because FGO is not a math equation that way. It's more like an algebra equation. There's variables, and you put in the values for those variables, which means not everybody has the same pieces to get the same results, because it's not just numbers, you know? Like, so, we always say that you should, like, try and figure out what you got with your own servants. You know, like, maybe you don't need to run a budget comp of just free-to-play units. Yeah, there's also some RNG. Like, obviously, I think most of the best smooth brand strats are about eliminating RNG, but I have absolutely gotten some interesting whiffs on NP damage before, because that's technically a variable, that's randomized. But, like, there's a wealth between, like, budget comps and whale comps and stuff you can do, and our advice would be to, like, look at what other people are doing, but don't take it as gospel. Find whatever you can do that works like that. Like, back when I actually played Arknights at all, I should really log in and see about that Rainbow Six event, just because I like those games. But also, spoiler, I don't play either of those games, even though I like them. I don't have time. Oh my god. Guys, I watched, like, in the past couple of weeks, I've watched, like, 9 seasons of really fucking good television. This is what my life is like. I don't have time for everything.
Listen, Lucky figured out he could watch anime at work.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Well, I mean, I can do that as well, so that's the thing. Omega also bought I bought the Saints Row the 3rd remaster, and then I got so hyped watching Castlevania, I immediately bought the Symphony of Night Rondo of Blood package off PSN. It was on sale for 60% off. It was $7. I'm like, sold! I'm 4 hours into Symphony again. Because I
also,
love it.
I'll talk about it on What's Up, X.
Yeah, we'll explain everything on What's Up. We got a lot to talk about, I think. But, like, yeah, so, like, our Arknights, though, would always do, like, when you look up guides, it would always be the most budget of comps, free-to-play units, because they also had a very chaotic gacha system, and have no idea what the fuck you're doing. But the way I approached those was I would look at those units and I would be like, okay, these are all free units, they're cool, I have some of them I haven't leveled, but this unit is an AoE caster. I'll replace that with my own AoE caster that I like and have leveled, So, that's kind of the same way I think you should approach FGO, is you should look at what people do, and you should think about it outside the box, and you should, apply your own tools to the problem. And you should also be prepared that things will not go as planned. That whole, freaking, limit broken K-scope. Like, I don't have an MLB K-scope. I think I'm, at 4 K-scopes. I'm one short of doing it. Not that I would yet, because I like having 2 separate 80s, because I have a waiver who's very well leveled. My waiver is bond 10, everybody, so. Yeah. It's a complex, back and forth thing. Scotty Conspiracy is definitely the thing that got my goat for a long time, because everybody just assumed that if you knew what the fuck you were doing, you rolled a Scotty, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't want to go broke, I have fucking other units to roll for. Oh, and gee, I've survived in the, over a year since then. And I got my own funny haha meme unit. I have an NP2 Da Vinci, so it's not all bad. Fuck you, doors! That is, by the way, very funny and memey to do double Da Vinci door memes. But I believe Delightworks went out of their... Actually, this is I should probably put this in pro tip, but I think it was sometime in the last week. Somebody actually posted, a combination of, a math and interviews with Delightworks. They talked about how servants are designed. Mm-hmm. The person who did this quoted the interview or whatever, called it a bot. I think a better way to talk about it is that Delightworks has an algorithm. They have a formula. They put in what features they want a servant to have, and this algorithm kind of roughly balances them, and then they will fine-tune individual units. And the way the algorithm was built, it was to actually avoid NP looping to the start. This is why some units had very, very bad NP gain, and some units had to have manually fixed NP gain, Delightworks had to actually patch Summer, Artoria, and Mordred because they wanted them to have crazy good NP gain on their NPs and be able to do loops and stuff. So they actually had to fix their coding. So a lot of units who are really, really crazy are when Delightworks goes in and deliberately says, oh yeah, we want this unit to be special. I assume that Small Da Vinci is that way. They went, no, this is a Da Vinci. We want her to be kind of fucking nuts. So yeah, there's your interesting tidbit about that kind of thing. So this does mean that yes, some units are in fact fucking nuts by design, but that also means that they are kind of statistical outliers, and you should, account for different variables. We have 3 left.
So thank you very much for that. We're going to move on. This next one comes from Agent 418, who says, "Hello, Omega and Lucky. With Lost Spell 6 first banner back, do you think this is how they'll treat story tie banners from now on? P.S. Hope everyone had a great time in Vegas, baby. P.S.S. Happy birthday, Lucky. Excuse me, it's Spawn Day. Respect my birthday modifiers or something. I don't know. Respect my nouns.
Oh yeah, they brought this up. The other thing was that parameters do actually matter. I think everybody soft knew this, but the algorithm calculates these things based on parameters.
Interesting.
So your NP damage is somewhat based on, and NP types can be based on what your NP stat is. Your NP gain can be based on your mana stat. Your attack is based on your strength stat. So yeah, servant stats do matter for FGO, kind of. They are part of why the algorithm calculates these things. Or it could be the other way around. I don't know. I don't know if they actually clarified that. But it's just an interesting thing. Also, you have no idea if Lucky caught your thing or not. Lucky just read as Lucky does. But so to answer your question, do you think this is how they do story type banners from now on? No, actually. I think the only reason why they did this is because it took them 3 fucking months to do Lost Belt 6.
By the way.
Yeah?
No, I know what he's misspelled. I just had to go copy and paste it real quick.
Okay, you wanted to let him know you caught it. Yeah, I figured you did. I saw it immediately. This goes back to the thing I talk about editing. Just, you are not Ron Burgundy. You do not read exactly what the teleprompter says. But yeah, no. To double deck on the question. No, I expected entirely because Lost Belt 6 was so fucking long to come out, and they were like, "Hey, we kind of threw this banner at you for 2 weeks back when you didn't have any idea what the fuck this was. Here, try again." I hope that they certainly jam story-locked servants into banners as much as they jammed the Fairy Knights, but no, I do not think this is going to be typical. We will have to see whatever next sort of content we have is.
Mm-hmm.
It will happen. When does the next hunting quest come out, actually? It's probably in the middle of the night tonight.
Probably. Anyway, thank you very much. Let us move on. This next one comes from Faker No Faking. They say, no question this week, as my rule of Penguin Mills were unsuccessful, but I did get a Buntoria, so I guess that's a plus. Anyway, have a good week. Bye! As they as they yeet themselves into the void. Thank you very much for that. Hope you have a good week as well. We move on. Thank you. The next one comes from that one tire guy who can't stop thinking of grinding, even in his dreams. That bump and grind, yo. Hopefully, good day to you, Suave Lucky and Dapper Omega. Ayy. Snapping the finger guns to you. Thanks for answering my question last episode. I tried to come up with more fun questions this time, but a combination of NAJPQP grinded my university trying to destroy me with work. My brain has gone on strike even before the next good old lotto event. So instead, I'm just here to wish you both a happy... I don't know why I started there. And so instead, I'm just here to wish you both and the whole Studio Omega community the best of luck, rooting from all you view from Wales. Hope you have the best of luck in whatever you have going on. P.S. Happy Spawn Day, Lucky. Hope you had a good day of creation. May the Gotcha God smile upon you forevermore. Thank you very much, my dude. And that is Mailbag. Thank you, everybody so much for sending in all your submissions. Reminder that I usually post this Monday or Tuesday of the week. Usually. Listen, I'm gonna talk about it more on WhatsApp. I totally got bamboozled Monday because I discovered that I could watch anime at work and not get in trouble. Well, it's not that I can't get in trouble. It's just I'm in a good spot for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got everybody's.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna read it in the reply.
Yeah, I was thinking, should I even bring it up? But no, it's technically against the rules. Somebody even replied to that guy's reply and telling him that he should have resubmitted, and that was 3 days ago, and he didn't. So
Nope.
You snooze, you lose.
Did I read yours? If it wasn't the one in the reply, yes.
But alrighty, so we managed to, from starting at about the 20-minute mark, we have managed to faff that out until the 2-hour and 41-minute mark.
Good job, us.
Let's wrap up our Summer 4 thoughts, and hopefully not take too long, because it's almost 11 o'clock at night. Though, I don't know, there's probably a lot of stuff that'll get trimmed out of that. A lot of silence and awkward nonsense.
Well, honestly, Summer... I don't think there's necessarily much to talk about Summer 4 in the end.
When we because we've been doing it kind of piecemeal. And this is, I would say this is a positive. This summer is very episodic, right?
Yeah.
Almost to it's very digestible, but it's also unfortunately to its detriment sometimes because grind.
Right.
We talked about that a lot last week.
Yeah.
So, when we last left off, Lucky was not quite up at the finale of the Camelot Casino. He was punching some knights, some Aloha knights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's basically then you have your final showdown with the Bunny King. You do the whole thing, and then Musashi reveals the double secret true plan, which was she made Holy Grail rice, and it was a bad idea. You meet the Heavenly Demon Musashi, who's very funny. Quotes all that deep Zen shit. If I meet the Buddha on the road, I would cut him, kind of stuff. And then you have the real double battle, a classic Fate move, as you would expect from a Holy Grail war, kind of. The double secret boss. And then the problem is solved, and Hokusai asks you, hey, what was a Sword Beauty after all? And you were like, I don't fucking know.
Why are you asking me this shit? Let's go home.
Yeah, I love the conclusion is, I don't fucking know. Like, there was no double secret or anything. It's just, no, it's all nonsense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's summer. It's dumb. They're wearing bikinis. They're fighting swords. We don't care. We had fun. We're going home. Take a mobile and going home.
I remember seeing this on Twitter, like, as someone's talking about, someone on Twitter was talking about, I'm pretty sure these summer events are just servants coming up with ways to take away their master for a few weeks so they get de-stressed after have to constantly, destroy things in the world. I'm like, no, that fucking tracks.
Yeah, I mean, I do believe Gordolf actually talks about that earlier. He makes the joke about, he's like, listen, I know you need some vacation, but come on. Is it nuts?
Well, honestly, the more I think about it, it does seem like all our summers have been planned by servants and somehow always get you, looped into it. Except for Summer 1. I think, that's, the only one.
No, Summer 1 was actually, I think it was supposed to be a summer boat trip and then you crashed.
Or something. But yeah, so it's just it's just every summer, it's just no, we're literally just getting to have a vacation so Master can de-stress and do something entertaining.
I mean, 2 was kind of a zany scheme. We did go to prison for a little bit.
Well, but the intent was Ishtar had this whole scheme about having, a race thing, and it was, it was still fun.
Yeah.
We got to be, on that
she
stuff.
She invited us to do it by manner of summer fun and relaxing everybody.
Yeah, so, yeah, no.
Important. It's something important you can do. Go the thing. Yeah, Musashi just bullied Merlin into helping her, and Merlin's like, okay, my plan is perfect. I'm gonna go whisper to the Lion King to make super double secret Vegas. I do like that there's some funny back and forth. You're weird. Sorry, that's out of context. That's the chat. I like how there's this interesting double context of us just, like, at the end, we're only just realizing that Merlin works with the Lion King, even though he's been the fucking announcer the whole time, you know? Figuring it all out. And then there's the double confusion at the end where you're like, just give us the grail, we're going home. And Samaratori's like, oh, I don't have one of those. I just, just use my powers. And we're like, wait, what? And then Merlin is like, let me explain the actual problem. And then you're like, shit.
Never trust a dick wizard.
Well, here we go again. No, shit, here we go again. And then, you do the whole thing. They do have some lingering questions. You do talk about how, like, Yagi was kind of weird to you and stuff, the back and forth. You have some interesting talk. Hokusai does go back to her original spirit origin and is incredibly embarrassed by all the stuff she said.
It's great. I was like, yes, I've been waiting for this.
Because of course she was. However, it does stabilize and, like, she gets double spirit origin, so now there's just two. It's not like how the game alludes that, like, for instance, Tamo can actually switch between the two with her shapeshifting powers. Like, no. Literally, there are two Hokusais. And then we get the second part bit. Oh, go ahead, Lucky.
Yep. Well, I was about to say, no, the second part bit, I was just going to talk more about, like, some servants who are just actors, actually just two versions of them here.
Yeah.
Part two
starts interestingly, I think.
I think so. The thing is, I don't necessarily feel like this feels like a part two. I feel like this is, like, it's not necessarily, like, split in half with, like, content or anything. I feel like this was just, like just a little extra thing tacked on.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the actual, what do they call it, like, underground sword beauties or whatever, that's just, fuck, we need a way to give you the extra shit that didn't fit in our missions and we don't have any more content, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, what I think they should have done is all those lovely little side quests we did, those should have given you the rewards instead of just, like, Saint Courts or mats. Those should have given you, like, costumes and more command codes and other goodies and stuff. 'Cause, like, other than I think Sigurd Bryn was supposed to be an underground match, right? That wasn't just a side quest? Yeah, that's the only one that has story.
Yeah.
Like, they all have intros, they're funny, but other than that one, they're all just fights. There's no depth to them. Yeah, the glasses competition was fucking great. I loved it, but it's almost like we ran out of juice. Like the deadline hit and we're like, fuck. Now, those side quests and epilogue shit are very good. We get even more Okita. I think she comes back for like 2 whole more side quests after you finish the main story, which is good. Because her casino is the shortest one. You get a lot of other fun stuff. And in general, those quests are very good. Lucky, I assume you did do the one where Jalter and Atalante Alter get smashed.
Oh, yeah, no, it was great. My Mash has a drink. Luckily, it's a virgin drink, but she doesn't know that, so she gets drunk on atmosphere.
Yeah.
Moriarty sells you a video of it, and you're like, yes! And Mash is like, no! I'm like, perfect.
Listen, Mash, if you get to pretend to be drunk, I get to enjoy it. Rather than watch me and Achilles get killed by actual angry drunk people.
Super enjoyed the little the Kotaro and Donzo story. I was like, yes, good, yes.
Yeah. Some funny back and forth. Also, the game was running out of money. Oh gosh, there were a lot. There were a lot of little things. They're pretty fun. It has the same, good quality. Whatchamacallit. It has the good quality writing we got from those extra quests in
3.
Yeah, in 3, right? Like it continues that trend. I do think it continues them a little smoother by making them linked to certain story progression and then literally putting them on their own special nodes to the side for most of them. Like they're in these special little places where you kind of go out of your way. So it's definitely a good writing element. I do think that there are some detriments, and honestly, like I don't know if I can say which, like, mechanically which event was better, right? Like 3 or 4. Because they both had their grind, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because 3 had, like, the loops to get dojins and the 3-point ladders. 4 is simpler because it's just QP. But God, there are some QP stumbling blocks, Like, they get bigger and bigger every time without necessarily giving you any way to get better at QP other than some fever quests and some of those big chance quests. So you're really climbing that grind hill.
Yeah, the thing about the fever quest that bugged me is that since they would rotate, you wouldn't necessarily have good one. Because the best one was clearly the Camelot one, the 400k one. And, like, what I tried to do is I tried to save my favorite tickets until I can get it, but, it would be several days, so I was just like...
Yeah, you can't just do the quests. I think the fever ticket system was a good idea. It was not implemented the most perfect. This is a problem FGO has, because as, like, a big wide service game that, like, has time-limited events, I don't know how much beta testing they can do. It's not like they can just throw this out to the public and test it, you know?
Mhm.
And this is why occasionally, especially for older events that were really shitty, reruns have, like, buffed mechanics. Like, Journey to the West, for instance, really, really sucked when it was originally released. Like, the two current season CEs did not translate between the two parts, right?
Right.
And stuff like that. And so they were able to fix that with a rerun, and I believe because that was coded before the NA version came out, we got the pre-fixed version where the drops were slightly more sensible. I don't know if the rerun will do anything about the fever tickets, but like it's definitely a problem that FGO has where just, if it just releases something, it is what it is, you know? They play tested it, but they can't like audience test it. Overall, though, writing's still super high quality. Love the characters, the new ones introduced and all our costume variants. They had a lot of good work with us just, hanging out with people like, Kotaro and Siegfried, especially since Siegfried doesn't always get a lot of love in story,
Oh, I enjoyed his Siegfried's characterization. It's like it was a bit jokey because, he's always talking about his, him being smart with the glasses. But I die every time I hear him scream Megane Kiran.
Yes.
Just every time. I'm like,
I
yes,
love
this
it.
is the best. This is the best.
And of course, Summer Musashi is great, and she was in a lot of it. Summer Hokusai is really great, and she is constantly in everything. And like I brought this up earlier, I like how it is episodic, and every story does feel kind of separate and self-contained.
Yeah, like we bring in new, like we switch out the cast, we switch out like the plan. You never do the same plan twice.
Yep.
There's always something weird that
every
you have
plan
to
is
do.
different because every casino is different, the backdrops are different, the enemies are different and stuff like that. So it all works out. It is like an episodic TV show. Like you build story arcs together over a couple of parts, you go on to the next one. The beats are similar and your cast kind of expands as you go on. Like you keep adding former sword beauties to your squad when they aren't just sitting in the pool. Melt. I know, you're a prima donna, literally. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's as extreme as like how every different JoJo part has a distinct flavor, but that's definitely a similar vibe. Like it's every casino is different, your cast grows every time and expands to new characters, and there are temporary characters as well. And it was really good. I think it was a good way to do summer and a good way to make use of the Vegas setting, that is actually kind of a thing. There are a lot of fucking casinos in Vegas, and there are a lot of different wildly contradictory themes that should not be together, but are on the strip. In normal life, it doesn't make sense to have a giant pyramid casino next to a casino named Excalibur. But it is. They exist. I mean, hell, fuck. It's just like, they're obviously fictional because, casinos are businesses for branding, but like, just think about the contrasting, like, way of the 3 or 4 casinos in, Fallout New Vegas, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, all of them have wildly different themes that have affected the gangs that run them. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Chinshi Wong was a very funny epilogue one, where he realizes he's just hanging out with regular people, gambling for no reason, and he's just like, "What is this? Capitalism?" The one where you refight Yu and Zhang Yu Paisen because she's a terrible gambler somehow.
And she's auctioning off fucking priceless Chinese artifacts.
Yeah, that's just her old, like, it's just, this is just my old teacup that I stashed somewhere, She doesn't give a shit, and
Waver's just all like,
yeah, Waver slash, Zhang is like, no, that belongs in the museum, don't cease. and fucking King David is the fence. He's running the auctions. Yeah, it's great. And then, I love how it concludes where Paisen finally gets the idea and she's just like, it's fine, I don't need this dumb casino anyway, and Zhang Yu is like, do you want to just go sit on my back and run through the desert? And I just imagine that they charge out into the night and just hang out in the desert.
I mean, like, hey, wherever they need to be is just wherever, the other one is. Yeah. Like, hey, yeah, no, that's great.
I also love how much Zhang Yu respects Yume Ren's pride, where he's like, listen, I could use my magical foresight powers to literally compute exactly what would happen next, but that would be rude.
But I do also like later, he's all like, no, according to my calculations, you will lose every single fucking time, my love.
Yeah.
And she's just all like,
well, it's just when she's at the peak of her frustration, he's like, nothing will go right, and Zhang Yu is like, you are correct, nothing will go right, and she's just like, don't. Alright, let's blow this popsicle stand. Blood bomb! explodes in blood. I love that. That's the joke in the Pharaoh Casino, where she's like, "Oh no, I feel ill." Eternal Lament, boom, just like a stock explosion effect.
The blood squibs go everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was really funny. I think we talked about it like a couple of weeks ago. I was a little sad that they did not do more with Nitocris, because it's not really Nitocris. It's her high on Meja juice for like 90% of that story. And she never really gets an opportunity to come back. She doesn't get an epilogue. But like the writing is really good. The pacing is not good because of the point ladder gating.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, there's that uphill grind battle. But overall, I enjoyed the event a lot. I'll probably, I'll have to pay attention to the rerun to get my juice out of it. But it's all right. Makes me very eager to see how they handle number 5 next year. Summer camp. Very interested to see also what the new summer will be, probably sometime next month. Because, they could fire it up right away on like the 28th after the Hunting Quests ends, but I feel like they won't. God, what if what if we're like double wrong and somehow it's Magical Girl Summer?
It can't be. Could it?
I think she's kind of like a magical. No, we got Achilles in there, and he looks like he's actually having summer. I don't even know. I don't even know if did Summer 5 have like any real mechanics. I think it may have just been pretty simple. They may have gone back to basics. Was there a point system?
I
don't even know. We'll figure it out next year. But yeah, no. So like, summers continue to be some of, I think, FGO's best writing because, as Nasu likes to say, there are the 2 type moons. They're like April Fool's caliber type moons. They're very, very elaborate jokes. And then there's like, watching the last Heaven's Feel movie or something and dying inside type moon, which this isn't. So like, I think they got some interesting things they're doing, and it's good. Lucky, do you have any other individual bits you want to call out for Summer 4?
Individual bits,
or even overall thoughts, I guess.
Well, like I said, like I definitely, mechanics wise, I do still think I prefer Summer 3 over Summer 4. Like, just overall. Also, I think I might say I think overall I enjoyed Summer 3 more than Summer 4, because I do feel like that Summer 3 like had a more cohesive story, and necessarily their side stories was still kind of tied into everything. I guess overall, I feel like Summer 4 was a lot more chaotic, because like you said, because everything was so episodic with its casinos. Nothing ever really necessarily flowed from point A to point B. It was always go to point A, full stop, and then there's a new point A. So I felt like maybe it's a little more broken up, I guess. So the things didn't necessarily flow. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I never really felt necessarily bad about the hard stops in Summer 3, because I always just considered it just one big thing, just going over and over. But I did still very much enjoy the side contents. Like I said, like all the writing was good. Like I enjoyed seeing Moriarty constantly. That made me happy. He always had a fucking scheme, that man. Whether it be, trying to get chips to buy his daughter a birthday presents, or bartending and, making sure that Matt didn't actually drink anything alcoholic. But, and then, other things like getting to see Amakusa and Semiramis hang out. The swimsuit Gumi. That was hilarious. That was just hilarious you grab all the troublemakers and you try to make them do stuff. Things are bad. Things are bad, yo.
Yeah, you have fun for like 5 minutes, there's a cool montage, and then you're like, Ogita, we must report. The swimsuit Gumi are broke, and the law is looking for us. And she's like, wait, why? Well, let's see. Let's count the reasons. Number 1, you just wrote down.
Hime burns down all the casinos. Mordred floods all the casinos. Marie just, breaks, takes all their money.
Yeah, she's so lucky. She's just winning all the games. And Anne and Mary are also taking all their money because they're pirates. They're just stealing everything. And
Hijikata's just there for boobs. Shout out to Hijikata for just being an honest man. He's like, what? I like big melons. It's like honestly, I find it one of the strangest things, but it's also just so consistent.
Yeah, no, I think he's showed up several times. He's had several interactions with Lip as a result.
Yeah,
he knows what he's about.
Yep, I respect that. But let's see, what other things really stuck out? I enjoyed the drive with. Honestly, I love the drive with Carmilla just because.
Yeah, that was a great one.
like again, like I think it does just reinforce how she kind of is, like how she's still hung up about how she has her hang-ups about Liz and about how she is, and how sometimes she's just trying to run away from reality, even though she's a servant, which I think is kind of I don't know if I necessarily want to call it deep, but it's definitely something.
Mm. And also, it's really funny because they get to show you how many fucking Liz costumes there are, and she tries to run her over and misses every time.
Also, I will also love to shout out that Carmela was ecstatic that she's still the most ecstatic that she got to get the costume before Liz.
And Liz tries to argue, whoa, I'm Saber Liz right now. I'm wearing a bikini. And Carmela's like, that doesn't count. That's a reference and you know it. Because Liz and Carmela are the same person, they can have this argument with yourself, basically.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, no, you're in denial. Well, no. Axe, if you think Liz actually got run over, you're wrong. They go out of their way in the point in the text. She doesn't actually hit Liz any of the times. Liz always, dives out of the minute at the last second. This makes sense because of her BattleCon / performance continuation. Liz's joke in CCC and even in Extella is that she just doesn't, she just keeps coming back. No, she always, stumbles out of the way or jumps back or, jumps over the car and rolls over the top or something. She is never, directly run over. She always talks about, gosh, if I hadn't jumped into those bushes at the last minute, I would have died. But yeah, like I said, those are always fun when we can actually get Carmilla and Liz in the same room, because Liz is a long and storied character in Fate, and Carmilla is not as much, but she is a fairly well liked character. I do actually believe. I like to think that Nasu seems to, and some of the other writers maybe likes the contrast between the two versions.
I think Carmilla gets a fair amount of action in the site. I don't think she has any. I don't think she's really had any.
She showed up to yell at Liz in Orleans, but so did a lot of people. Orleans had the early FGO writing problem of not knowing what the fuck they were doing. It tried really way too hard to be a Holy Grail war, and it didn't work because that meant there were too many fucking characters.
Yeah.
God, there were so many. No, Carmilla, I think, sees fairly regular use in FGO, like I said, because I think that Nasu or the other writers like this juxtaposition. It's something that they can only do with a few characters, and they actually like to call it out and bring it forth. It's like comparisons like you can see in some side stories and other things of like Shiro and Emiya. Mm-hmm. The kind of thing that's like can be really deep and hard cutting, or can just be very funny. Of why are you yelling at yourself?
I'm a dick!
It's because I'm a huge asshole in the future, and then Emiya busts in. I'm like, what do you mean in the future, asshole? God, future me sucks. So, like, yeah, I enjoy that interplay, and I like that they can do that, and making Carmilla a summer definitely gives her that extra oomph. I also, I think there were actually two themes to this summer. One was being horny.
Yes.
Which summers are usually horny, but this one was just unapologetically so. It was like, no, we're here for beauty. Everybody's fucking hot. That guy's hot. She's hot. We're all hot. And the other thing was just extra. No, Musashi is horny all the time. But the other thing was people being extra. Like, Carmilla throwing her calling card for fucking everything. Osakawa Hime got so into airsoft, she created a battle royale at her casino.
Melt's just Melt's entire evil scheme that, again, when she thought, she's like, oh, okay, I'm done. Whatever. Yeah.
Melt, who is still lawful, I believe is still lawful good as her summer version, even though she is, an archdemon primarily. She concocts a whole elaborate evil scheme, and when it explodes, she's just like, well.
Hey, Master, what you doing?
I'm gonna go to the pool. Even though, like I said, I don't necessarily like it because I felt like it took away from Nitocris's potential stuff. Even the Nitocris thing where she goes so medjed, that's just her being even more extra, because she's actually kind of extra when she's in her first ascension.
Well, you can even say that with John. She really went hog on that.
Yeah, they took the funny meme characterization they gave to Summer Jean because it worked for playing off Summer Jolter's event, and they just took it to the... Sorry. We've been talking a while. I'm getting slightly cough. But they took it to that nth degree, in this as well. I think that was basically everybody is like that. Like Okita is so incredibly over the top, literal high speed highway to the danger zone.
I did enjoy her little thing where she takes you on a flight and you're just all like, but then you can have a moment.
Yeah, I mean, X, you wouldn't be freaked the fuck out by a flying talking shark? Yeah, post the emote.
Yeah, post the emote.
I mean, yes, but not in the context of we walked into a casino and then we open up and I'm like, holy shit, she has a talking shark? What the fuck? What is happening here? Like that's the thing about context, right? And this is the out of context problem. Because it's a flying fucking shark! And nobody is prepared for that.
Like,
we're here to have a Swordmaster duel, and the shark is saying, play with me. And we're like, I don't like where this is going, let's retreat.
Yeah, do you have a plan to deal with the shark immediately?
Tactical withdrawal, let's rethink this plan.
It's a shark that got turned into John's magical familiar.
Yeah.
It's not something you can just punch it and it'll go away.
I mean, wyverns we're horrifically hardened to. Yes, actually. I believe we had to
several times
retreat from Surtur. You fight him a couple of times because he's big and on fire. We're like, this doesn't work. I would also like to point out, because this is an event story, not a main story, most things are usually pretty casual, right?
Right.
Like, we're usually pretty relaxed. You're not necessarily, it's the mood shift, right? You're not prepared to suddenly have to be like, dude, is that a fucking shark? Or one of my favorite quotes from Castlevania, what the fuck was that? I love the people can cuss in Castlevania. It makes the show eminently quotable.
I think I talked about this, how I enjoy that we can have adult animations now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. We have to beat Jean at our own game. So we do have funny callback with Summer Raiko. Like, no, yeah. The writing's really spot on, the extra stuff is there. It's just, I do kind of agree with you that it's a little more, because it's deliberately episodic, it doesn't have as much throughput as Summer 3. Some people would possibly prefer it that way. I don't necessarily know if I would say which is better to me. They're just different.
Mm-hmm. What about taste?
Yeah. And, I think that's everything.
Yeah, no, let's see here. Honestly, I kind of feel like, if I do want to save someone that might have been underutilized, I feel like Bunny Artoria might have gotten the shallow treatment, just because, since they're supposed to be, the pinnacle, the peak, you don't get to necessarily see them a lot. So you don't really get an eye for the characterization. You just know they're the cool, collected beauty, wearing a bunny costume for some odd reason.
Yeah, the style of it is, well, she's the boss of the whole thing, so she's, like, distant,
Mm-hmm.
They go out of their way that is the roadblock in the Camelot Casino, is, whoa, you can't even see the boss until you defeat us, her 3 flunkies, who are super strong because you've done this before. And we're like, God damn it, not this shit again. I mean, she's a ruler. Do you not understand how rulers work? She is being the dealer. The dealer is neutral. And by which I mean the dealer is part of the system where the house always wins, but that's a whole different commentary. Lots of things are explained.
But, so, like, that's the thing, like, I haven't really got a handle on, like, I have an MB2 Buntoria, but she's still level 1, because, Jesus, I've been busy!
I own, like, my Okita's only, like, halfway ascended. I literally, earlier on camera, I spent all the Ember farming I did before it rolled over to get Carmilla to, like, Ascension, her second Ascension. Like, it's, I got work to do still. Luckily, I have time to do it, but...
Yeah, so I haven't really got a handle on my Buntoria, so I'm just like, I feel like, because that was the thing, like, after you trounce whatever, like, swimsuit swordmaster, they usually hang out with you. The only exception being this one, Chris, but you got Carmilla out of that, Yeah.
And Carmilla joined your squad permanently. I think you're right. I think, I do wonder if perhaps, because remember, summers are supposed to be pretty long, and they used to be in deliberately 2 parts, right? And then they stopped doing that because they realized that was kind of forcing it, right?
Right.
And just Summer 3 was just so fucking long with, like, the time loops and the deliberate point laddering. Whereas while they did time gate it, that was more just because otherwise you would complete the content all the time, right? And it was set up so you could do, like, a casino a day, so it was still not super long. I wonder if at some point the back half was longer, like if it was originally written more like how Summers used to be written, and this was like a full-blown, like, second half with actual, like, story content for all the underground matches and whatever. And then eventually somebody in the writing room is like, wait, no, we can just make this a lot simpler if we only write the one joke we have, and then we don't do any more jokes. We just have you punch funny boss fights, like how you get most of your extra BB copies in CCC. Because CCC is another really fucking long event. Right? Like, I'm wondering if they maybe plan to have this expanded where there would have been room for you to actually see more of Summer Artoria, and you just don't, because it kind of turns into the thing. Like, she doesn't even really help you in the finale against the Heavenly Demon Musashi, because the whole point of that story is, oh no, we've been training Hokusai this whole time to become a master of blades and beauty who can reach this pinnacle. Not that I don't, I love it every time, like, Hokusai finishes the fight by calling out, the waterfalls.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. But yeah, I think there are some slight slimitudes to the writing at points. But overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good. I had a good time. I look forward to QP farming next year.
Yeah, and we'll have to see once again with Summer 5, like, how they handle that character distribution. I do at least believe that this should be fairly on point and focused on its themes. Summer.
What
coming this?
What is it even?
Can you eat it? No. All right. Interesting. Currently, bunny suit day is trending.
Well, I'm about to probably see a lot of anime girls in bunny suits.
But all right. I think then we've hit the end of the showness then, and we should wrap up because this has been going for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Next week, we will probably, I'm going to assume by then, we should probably have our announcement of the pre-release to Battle in New York, because like I said, there's a pre-release that goes with it. It has stuff. We'll have to at least get it started before we can start on that. So we will probably have a, like baby pregame for Battle in New York. Like I said, nothing major, just, I do believe there are a couple of, like, different main story fights and stuff. I may or may not feel like bothering to talk about challenge quests, high difficulty quests. Mostly because reading about those just sucks my will to live, so sorry. It's just they're not fun for me. But there should at least be a couple of things we can mention there. Obviously, we will definitely have even more hunting quests will be revealed, so we'll be able to talk about what those are so you can plan your future Matt's problems. And once again, we'll keep an eye out if there's anything special coming around.
I don't know if we'll necessarily get any news about JP Summer in the next week. I'm pretty sure they're going to be firing it off in the first week of September, though.
So yeah, we will probably it's possible it will have been announced because our next show will literally be the 27th. So the hunting quests will be all complete actually by the time we record next. So that probably means they will have said what will be next. It will not necessarily have started. So we might know what the first banner is. We might have a CM. We obviously won't have any hard and fast details though, because I agree with Lucky. It will probably not be starting until maybe a weekend. I mean, let's see. We're in a slightly awkward position, right? Where the start of next month is in the middle of the week. And that doesn't necessarily stop FGO before. They could have 2 or 3 dead days though. You do get let's see. You only get the half AP until the 23rd, that syncs up with the 30th. But you do get double FP until the end of August. So I don't know. There's a lot of wiggly room. The Avalon the Fate campaign, for instance, doesn't end until the 1st of September. So they have a lot of different things going on. There could be a lot of different stuff that pops. We'll see. We will probably have shades of the next step, but we won't have hard details by next show. Next show we will be doing Fencer and Friday. Like I said, Kremhild Avenger has been locked in. That'll be very fun. We'll maybe get to talk about some stuff that FGO doesn't really mention much. What's up, Lucky?
Oh, no, I was on Twitter, and I was actually trying to remember the fucking thing. But I found the tweet I was talking about where they were talking about FGO, where the Prism movie, because apparently it's 6 days before it releases, so yeah, probably after the hunting quest is probably going to be the commemoration for the new movie. And which you can probably get this as a CE of some sort.
Yes, there'll probably be a commemoration quest. Maybe a banner? When was regular ass Ilya's last raid up?
I don't know.
Also, Summer Ilya's a 4-star, isn't she?
Yes.
You could do a wombo. Actually, fuck. When was Mew's last raid up? That's another great question. Listen, you could do a lot. You could do a lot with a little PRISMA movie commemoration banner.
So that might run for I don't know, maybe a week. Maybe.
Oh, holy shit! Actually, that would be a great time for the what everybody wants, the Mew rank up quest.
True.
Yeah, that could probably be another good little week-long, space bar that would push us firmly into September and would actually have content that we need. So yeah, if we're about 6 days out, that probably sounds correct. I expect there will be a commemoration. There will probably be a banner. There may be more stuff.
Yeah, because I was saying, we were thinking dates. I was all like, wait, I'm connecting dots.
Yes. There are a lot of dates rattling around, but some of them mean things sometimes.
What do the numbers mean?
What do the numbers mean, Mason? Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I think that's all you can look forward to next week. Obviously, tune in tomorrow if you're listening to this live, or otherwise it's a patron, for What's Up, or later today if you're watching this on YouTube, where we will talk about many things. Many things to talk about.
Many.
We have many things, like I said. I've finished 2 TV shows in the past time since we did an episode. I've been playing several games. And then also there's been other stuff. Because I'm pretty sure I know what that thumbnail's going to be. But, yeah. So, I think that's about everything else to talk about.
Yeah.
I need to actually, go do some of those new interludes.
Same.
So, let's do the outro. It goes a little something like this. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you're watching on YouTube. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Take your guesses. What hunting quests will we get? What mats do you want? Let us know. Comments below. Or join our Discord. As always, that link is in the video description and on our channel page. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Feed those algorithm gods. Let you people know you want to see this stuff. And even if you're already subscribed, considering that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video. You can also join our channel memberships, get access to emotes and membership badges, and support us. You can leave a super thanks if you feel like in the comments. Several people did, in fact, beta test that. Mostly it's just you give us like a couple bucks and say thanks, and there's a little flag by it. That's cool. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And, of course, as we said at the beginning of the show, you can consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to this episode in audio format early for as little as $1 a month or $10 a year. At higher levels, you can get access to topic polls, videos days early, and lots of other goodies, like listening to the show live as it is filmed. That's all for now. We will see you guys next time. Enjoy your summer vacation.